You are now rocking with the hottest boxing podcast in the land with your host, Coach Malachi Williams.
True.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up, family? It's our boy, Coach Malachi Williams in the building. We back. Too Many Podcast. We back up in this BI, back up in here. Too Many Podcast. We back up in here, man. Y'all, let me see what I sound like. All right, we sound good. Everything good on this scene. Everything Gucci over here. Shout out to Mr. Tomato Can. Mr. Tomato Can, what's happening, fam?
True. To this day, but this ball is taking it easy, man.
Okay. Shout out to Mr. Tomato Can in the building. What's going on, fam? It is what it is. Let me pull my soundboard up a little bit so I can reach my sound effects. Yeah, man. Salute to everybody, man. Javier Valencia, what's going on, fam? Hey, boy, let me tell you something. My favorite, one of my favorite black fighters, Caleb Plant, kind of disappointed me a little bit. I can't even front. One of my, cause a lot of these guys, one of my favorite black fighters. You know what I mean? I get what he was trying to say. But he was partially right and partially wrong. You get what I'm saying? Two things can be true at the same time, But at the end of the day, there's the one common denominator. I'm finna break down the one common denominator right here. That's irrefutable. I'm finna break it down like a 57 Chevy. This way he all the way wrong at. Shout out to Mr. Duncan Carter. Hey, okay. Dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hey, man, shout out to Dunk, man. Mr. Duncan Carter in the building, man. Dropping a half a dub, supporting the show. Shout out to Dunk, man. You already know what time of TI is. We got to hit him with the Huggy Bear.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Shout out to Bud Cheddar in the building. G5 from the Bronx. Brandon, shout out to Brandy in the building. Daniel Agnew. Carolina Slim, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Big Jag. Big Jag, what's going on? Hey, look here, man, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant kind of, he kind of like, you got to, you get what I'm saying? You feel me? One of my favorite black fighters, Caleb Sweet Hand Plant, he said some stuff, that I kind of disagree with as it relates to, as it relates to, you get what I'm saying? Whose job it is to do what. And the one flaw in it, I'm finna give you guys the one flaw. It's a major flaw that can never be overlooked. And I'm finna break it down. I promise you that. Shout out to D Young. I don't care what is it that you're doing in life as it relates to sports and entertainment. It's one thing that's a common denominator. That's the number one rule. It's the number one rule. And whatever. And and he totally missed that. And I'm like, how can you totally miss that? Anyways. Let me read the opening monologue. Matter of fact, now once we get to 100 people in here, then I give everybody a round of applause. We ain't got 100 on yet. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. Once we get there, we'll hit everybody with a round of applause. Yeah, man. But I'm sitting back shangalanging, right? I'm sitting there looking at it. I say, man, nah, hell to the no. Shout out to D Young in the building. D, what's going on? Shout out to Jamel. Who else we have in the building? I read y'all already. What to say? G5. G5 say Ulandsky. He said dream is over. Okay. He said the dream is over, huh? Boy, what y'all hear that video that's dropping tonight? If you're a member of the show, then you heard the video already. You know, because it's open for members only right now, but it's gonna drop tonight. If you say the dream over, okay. And I got a video dropping tonight at 9:00 East Coast time. When you listen to that, you're gonna see two contrasting points of view, contrasting points of view. When you see this video that's dropping, I'm like, man, Lord have mercy, man. You get what I'm saying? You know, listen, another thing too, right? You know, I don't like the way y'all been hating on my dog Money May. Y'all been hating on Money May. You get what I'm saying? You've been hating on Edgar Berlanga. Y'all some international haters. I give y'all that now. Y'all international with it. You hating on the black fighter and the Puerto Rican fighter. True. Hating on the black fighter and the Puerto Rican fighter. You get what I'm saying? And the Japanese fighter. And the Japanese. Hey, shout out to Sean from the Heights. Who got gifted a membership? Let's see. Sean from the Heights got gifted a membership. Who did that? Let's see who did that. What? Okay, Sean from the Heights is a new member. Let's give him a round of applause. I don't know who did that. Oh, that was G5 from the Bronx. Okay, G5 gifted Sean from the Heights, you know, a membership. Anyways, let's go ahead on what you say. He said, looking for great. You looking for great? Here in DC. Get on the plane, go to DC, and say, hey, I'm looking for great. And they should, you get what I'm saying? And they should tell you where you at. You know what I mean? They're going to just go to DC and say, hey, I'm looking for great. That's all you need. You get what I'm saying? That's all you need, fam. Hey, I'm looking for great. Hey, you ought to know what time it is with me.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy Rick James?
Facts. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man.
Bruh.
I can't listen. We can't even do it like that, though.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Hey, man, shout out to Booger Ray.
That's wrong, isn't it? That's wrong. He did nothing to you. Yes,
sir, it is what it is. Let's get into the show. We got over 100. Let's give the audience a round of applause. Finalmente. All right, now, let's get it on. Caleb Plant defends Devin Haney's boxing style against critics. You know what? I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it. You know, I'm just gonna. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep that one to myself. Anyways, in a recent interview on Fight Hub TV, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant explained why Devin Haney performed the way he did against Jose Ramirez. Here's what he said below, and I got the video. Caleb Plant says, and I quote, "It's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive, more exciting. When I first saw the first round of the Devin fight, he said, I noticed he looked kind of jittery." This is what Caleb Plant said. "I figured he suffered from a little PTSD from the last fight against Ryan Garcia. I thought he was fighting like that until he settled down." He said, "I thought he was fighting like that until he settled down." Now, again, this is from one of my favorite black fighters, Caleb Plant. We adopt him, so it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? Let's say some crazy shit. Now, as long as they don't say no crazy shit, we adopt him. And we preserve the right to kick him back to the white community at any time. True. Long Caleb. Now we let hey the brothers they say they're letting you slide right now. But you know, as soon as you start talking crazy now, we kicking you back, kicking you out. You know? You get what I'm saying? But anyways, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. This is what he said, right? He said, when I first saw the first round, of the fight, he said, I noticed that Devin looked kind of jittery. I figured he suffered from a little PTSD from the Ryan fight. I thought he was fighting like that until he settled down, found his rhythm, distance, and range. After the 12th round, he said, after the 12 rounds, I realized that he left the fight unscathed. He said after 12 rounds, he realized that Devin left the fight unscathed. The man didn't have a scratch on his face. You get what I'm saying? That was the plan. That was the game plan. That's what Caleb Plant said. He figured it out. Devin clearly trained that way. He said Devin clearly trained that way. You get what I'm saying? He said that was purposeful by Devin Haney and his team. He said fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. I swear to God. That's what he said. I ain't making this up. He said, hey, this got it. He said, listen, fight like that for 12 rounds? I can tell you, fight like that ain't easy. Hey, shout out to Castor Shell. He said, man, fight like that for 12 rounds, though? Man, that shit ain't easy. I was like, damn. Bro, I don't think Caleb Plant, hey, I don't think Caleb Plant realized it, but he was dissing Devin Haney. He was dissing Devin Haney, but he didn't even realize he was dissing him. Bro, like, when you go back and listen to it, when you go back and listen to what Caleb Plant said, fam, bro, listen, he was trying to defend them. He was trying to defend them, but in the process of doing that, he was really dissing them. You gotta listen to it. I'm gonna break it down like a 57 Chevy. I say, man, he dissing this man, he won't even realize it. I'm gonna play the video. We gonna break it down. He said, let's go back and read it from the top. He said, I thought that he was fighting like that until he settled down. No, he said, this is what he said. It's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight more competitive. It's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight more exciting. When I saw in the first round of the fight, I noticed that Devin looked jittery. I figured that he suffered from a little PTSD from the last fight for Ryan Garcia, who got popped with Ostarine. True. Anyways, some say that Ostarine helped him throw that left hook a lot faster and, at lightning speed. You get what I'm saying? So that's what they say. They say the Ostarine made him, put a twitch in his elbow so he can throw that hook at ease. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. After 12 rounds, Caleb Plant said, I realized that he left the ring unscathed. He said that was the game plan. Devin clearly trained that way. No, Devin clearly trained to fight that way. That was purposeful by Devin and his team. Fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. He said the amount of discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of conditioning it takes, it's not easy. Hey, Caleb Plant said, he said, I can't make this up. That's what he said, fam. Y'all think I'm making it up. I ain't making it up. No. I ain't making it up. That's what he said. Now, listen, I'm not saying nothing bad or good. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just repeating what the man said. Now, depending on which side of the fence you are on, you're going to take that two different ways. You get what I'm saying? Depending on which side of the fence that you're on, you're going to take that two different ways. You can take it one or two ways. You get what I'm saying? So, bro, I can't believe. Hey, bro. Hey, Rod, the man say, hold on, see, Rod don't get it. Rod, you don't get it yet. He say, Devin clearly trained that way. That was purposeful. That was purposeful by Devin and his team. He said fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. He said the amount of discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of conditioning it takes, it's not easy. He said, was it the most appetizing fight for the fans? No. Was it the most exciting fight for the fans? No. But it's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight more competitive. It's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight more exciting. Now what comes with exciting? Entertaining. When people are excited about something, especially when they go to an event, that means they have been entertained. See, what Caleb Plant is wrong as, that's what he's wrong at. You can say it's not his job to make the fight competitive. You can take that argument and run with it. Nothing wrong with that. I give you that. What he was wrong at was that it's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight exciting. That's what he was wrong at. Because Devin Haney, as well as Jose Ramirez, were to blame for the performance that both of them put on that night. It's not all Devin Haney, it's Jose Ramirez as well. You get what I'm saying? So he's wrong on that, because if Devin Haney is not making the fight exciting, then that means the fans are not going to be entertained. See, the most important part about any sport is the entertainment. It's the entertainment. You always hear these dudes online say, man, you know, fighters, we put our lives on the line for y'all entertainment. And I always say that's bullshit. You put your life on the line because, nigga, you don't know how to do nothing else in life but fight. And two, you put your life on the line because that's all you know how to do. And no, you put your life on the line because you're getting paid to do it. You ain't walking in the ring, yo, man, y'all ain't got to pay me. I'm just going to put my life on the line for the entertainment. No, you started boxing to make money. That's one of the biggest lies ever told. A fighter saying that he fighting on the entertain the fans. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying that there's no truth to that in some degree, but the fact of the matter is this here. It's called prize fighting. You hear these dudes talk about this all the time. Well, the money got to be right before I sign the contract and all that stuff there. So once you start saying that, then you're doing it for the money. And so if you're going to say we put our lives on the line for the fans' entertainment, well, you very damn well better be entertaining. Because if you don't entertain the fans, guess what? They ain't gonna want to pay to see you no more. I can give you the, it's not his job to make it competitive, but it's damn sure his job to make it exciting. Because that's what people are going to remember. They are entertained. They're gonna when they deep into that mental Rolodex of boxing, and they dig from their memory banks, they're going to pull out some of the best fights that they remember. Man, I remember when Floyd fought Diego Corrales. Oh, man, I remember when Holyfield and Riddick both fought, the first fight. Oh, man, I remember. But you get what I'm saying? People when they pull from their mental Rolodex boxing, they think about all of the good fights, the great fights. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they was entertained. True. That's the reality of the situation. So I disagree with Caleb Plant on that. It's Jose Ramirez's job to make the fight more competitive and exciting. And it's Devin Haney's job to make the fight more competitive and exciting as well. It's both of them. I agree and disagree with this statement from Caleb Plant. If two fighters are in the ring having a non-competitive fight, having a non-exciting fight, then the burden is on both fighters in order to make the fight exciting, especially if you want the fans to stay engaged. What would make fans engaged in something? Something that excites them, something that entertains them. If I am entertained, that means that means that I am pleased with what I am seeing. If I find a sense of pleasure mentally from what I'm watching, seeing that's in front of me, I am going to be engaged. I am going to watch. I am going to talk about it. I am going to give off good vibes and good energy or whatever, or even bad vibes or bad energy if my fighter loses. See, that's the part of the job description. You can't tell the fans, you know what I mean? You can't tell the fans, oh, it ain't my job. It ain't my job to doggone excite y'all. Well, you know what, nigga? We don't want to see you fight no more then. What makes boxing boxing? It's not the fact that two men get in the ring and fight each other. That's not what makes boxing boxing. What makes boxing boxing is the fans. It's the simple fact that you have two dudes that get in the ring willing to fight each other in front of an audience. These fighters draw energy from the audience, whether it's good or bad. You want to please the audience. You want to prove you are the best in front of the audience. If Canelo and Terrence Crawford go fight in a closet somewhere, or fight in the house, and nobody was able to see them fight, and then both of them walk out or whatever, and Crawford say he won, and Canelo say he won, or whatever the case may be, no, that's not going to have the same impact as I'm going to prove. So Canelo can walk out and say, I proved that I'm the best, but nobody saw it. Crawford can walk out and say, I proved that I'm the best, but nobody saw it. You proved it in front of who? The sport of boxing is nothing without the fans. The fans is what makes it the sport. Why is that? Because the fans are the ones that's spending the money. The promoter promotes it, hypes it up, gets the people excited. The people get excited. They come and they spend their money for a product that they deem is worthy enough of their dollars. If the fans don't deem that the product is worthy enough of their dollars, they're not going to pay to see the product anymore. This is an inferior product. This product boring. This product ain't living up to the hype. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? So the most important part is the fans. If you're promoting a performance that's going to keep the fans disengaged, how can that be a good business model? Do you get what I'm saying? How could that be a good business model? You dig? So it is what it is, man. So as I said before, having non-exciting fights, and then the burden is on both the fighters. And so the burden is on both of the fighters. If you have a non-exciting fight, the burden is on both of them, not just one guy. It's up to both the fighters to make the fight exciting, especially if you want the fans to stay engaged. If you want the fans to go to sleep, you get what I'm saying? If you want them to stay engaged, you want them to go to sleep. It's up to you. If you want the fans to talk shit about your performance, or if you want the fans not to pay to see you fight, continue to put on the performance like you did, if that is your goal. That goes the same for Canelo versus William Skull. Can't forget about them. That goes the same for Ryan Garcia and Roland Romero. That fight. That goes to them too. Boxing is the only sport that tells the paying customer how should they like to be entertained. Boxing is the only sport that they tell a customer, no, man, that ain't what you saw. You know what you looking at. See, let me tell you how you should be entertained, or let me tell you how to see this. Like, no, nigga, I saw what I saw. He hit him in the jaw, the dude fell. No, but see, it wasn't as simple as that. See, you got to go back to look at the moves that was made, before he hit him in the jaw, before he fell. See, you got to understand the science of the matter. And I'm like, look, man, okay, look, yeah, whatever you say. What the end result was the fans happy? Yeah. Was they excited? Yeah. All right, then, nigga, shut the fuck up and have a Coke and a smile.
True.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. What's the problem? You know what I mean? The people say they was happy. The people say they was happy. You get what I'm saying? If the people say they're not happy, then you just can't dismiss that. Listen, That's just like me being in the dope hole, right? The trap, right? And, I got, we talking about that. We going back to the 80s. We got that good, we got that good coke. You know what I mean? I got them bricks, them blocks. We out there selling stones, and then the bass will come up, and the bass will be like, yeah, man, one dude, drug deal on the left, drug deal on the right, and the bass, and both of them put their hands out there. I got them bricks. What's up? You know what I mean? He said, I want a dub. He want a dub, right? And he looking at both of y'all, and he said, you know what? That right there, Booty Dean, dog. I had that last time. I don't like that. I don't like that product right there. Let me get these. Let me get the one over here. So you get what I'm saying? So he picked the other guy. He picked the guy. He picked drug dealer B versus over drug dealer A, because drug dealer B had a better product. So if you put out inferior product, you know what I mean? Boss and tell a nigga, no, this what you supposed to like. No, so you like this. I just need to educate you on how to like it. Like, no, dog, this ain't no good though. I don't want this here. No, it is good. See, you don't understand. See, you need to be educated. Let me educate you on what you were looking at. Let me tell you something. If you got to educate me on what I'm looking at, that tells me that I was correct in what I saw the first time.
True.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, this nigga here, yeah, all right, nigga China, he trying to nigga explain. Well, listen, when you got the nigga explain it, hey, shout out to the Cardenas. When you got the nigga explain it, that's the problem. I'm like, okay, boxing is the only sport that tells the customer how they should like to be entertained. The paying customer knows what he wants to see. If the paying customer feels it's a waste of their time to watch you fight, that's a problem. Let's listen to Caleb Plant point of view and tell me, what do you think? In other news, there's always other news. To piggybacking off of yesterday, my good brother, the GTE, you know what I mean? What do you call it? You know what I mean? Hey, what is not GTE? TBE, the best ever. Floyd Money Mayweather, like I said before, I told you guys he did sue. He sued a news. He sued a news outlet for spreading false information, scandalizing his name, putting dirt on his character about his business dealings in New York. Floyd is fighting for his reputation as a smart businessman and his brand. Let's see if everything works out for the man better known as Floyd Money May. You know what I mean? In other news, Coach Malachi will show the boxing public where boxing is heading in America. We're going back to entertainment. I want y'all to remember that word. It starts with the E. It's the fifth letter in the alphabet. We're going back to entertainment. Because Caleb Plant say, yeah, baby boy, it ain't up to Devin Haney to make the fight more exciting. That's not true. It's up to Devin Haney and his opponent, Jose Ramirez, to make the fight more exciting. Because it takes two to tangle. It takes two. Y'all remember that song about Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock? It takes two. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, so it is what it is. So Floyd Money Mayweather is fighting for his reputation and stuff, right? I'm gonna show you guys exactly where everything is going at in America. In American boxing. Some of you may think that I'm smoking crack when I show you this. Y'all might be like, man, Coke on that good dope. I promise you I'm not. But I promise you, if you listen to what I'm saying and you see what's going on with Bill Haney, it will all make sense. Let's get into the show. Today's show has been sponsored by Foster's Barbershop. If you are in the city of Tampa, please download the app Booksy. That's BOOKSY. That's Booksy. Look up Foster's Barbershop. Let them know that Coach sent you. Book an appointment. Very lovely restaurant. Not restaurant. It's kind of like a restaurant because they have a tiki bar in the back. But very lovely barbershop. Just going to be you and the barber there. You don't have to wait no long lines. Not going to be a lot of people in there. They got greens in the back, meaning we play golf in the back, and also there's a tiki bar with the bartender. So if you want to go back there, smoke a cigar or whatever, have a drink, talk to the bartender, see can you save her, you know what I mean, and play some golf, you can do that. True. Let's give our sponsor, Foster's Barbershop, a round of applause. Yeah. Look at the point. They say that boy, but they say it's hard out here on these streets. Hey, shout out to Green Eyes P. Hey, okay. Dropping them €2 on your boy. She said professional whining day 2 in chat. Oh, okay. All right. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's hard out here on these streets now. It's hard out here, boy. On these streets. Yeah, man, it's rough, boy. It's rough out here, boy. I'm talking about, boy. Let me tell you something, boy. Boy, ooh, Lord have mercy, boy. Boy, listen, yesterday's price ain't today's price. Shout out to Curtis.
Hey, okay.
Dropping $2 on your boy. He say, let's cook it. Coach Mal. Yeah, we know we gonna get it in. We gonna get it in. You know that. Y'all share this live show, man. Y'all already know what it is with me. It is what it is. Before we get into the show, we gotta say all praise is due to the Most High, the Most Exalted, the greatest human being on this planet Earth. And I say that sarcastically, Mr. Al Heyman.
Well, you know, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and sing Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name, you know.
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Yeah, man, it is. Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I'm sitting back, you know, we talking about the Mexican monster. And shout out to the Tenderonis, the PYTs, and the Honey Dips. Now, I did see an interview with Shannon Sharp. Some would say Shannon not so sharp, but he's sharp enough to make all that money he's making right now. But anyways, I did see an interview with Shannon not so sharp, and he looked like he's doing pretty well, even though he got them, he got a $50 million lawsuit dropped on his head, and I'm hearing a lot of his endorsements from them good white folks, some good white companies. I heard they kicking him to the curb. So we might, we might have to start a GoFundMe for Club Shay Shay soon. I hope not, but if we do, I'm more than willing to be able to help my good brother. Let's give him a shout out, and shout out to Shannon Sharp, man. Y'all know what it is.
See your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny, please. In the winter lights, so she's my sweet dust of free. Talk to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you move, stepping out of control.
It's me against the light.
Snow bunny.
Moving on the bar. Everything's alright. Got that smooth soul feel.
No, that's
That's a bit long. With my snow bunny love. We're party about the night.
see your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny, please. In the winter lights, so she's my sweet dust of free. Talk to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you move, stepping out of control.
Bunny love. It's me against the light.
Snow bunny.
Moving on the bar. Everything's alright. Got that smooth soul feel.
No, that's
That's a bit long. With my snow bunny love. We're party about the night.
see
Hey, this shit, right, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Listen, Caleb Sweethead plant is so wrong on this here. He is so goddamn wrong on this here, bro. Like, he's partially right and partially wrong. Partially right and partially wrong. He is. You get what I'm saying? So look like we got a troll now. I saw you trolling yesterday. What's the name? I saw you trolling yesterday. Yeah, we gonna get you off the block. We're gonna get you off the block. I'm gonna get you off the block personally. Cause you want my attention, you got it. Bye, Felicia. Create another account. I know you will. True. Create another account. I know you will. Anyways. Yeah, I'm just saying to me, he's wrong with the 2 left pair of shoes on this. Let's see this here. Where he at? Where is? No, that's that one. Caleb. Hold on. Wait a minute. I have it right here. Bear with me one moment. Wait a minute. Where is it? Cause listen. He's so on point. He's so on point with this shit. Let me see. I think he's here. I think I sent it here. Okay. Cool. This it right here. I have it. All right, let's go right here. Let me let y'all see this here. Let me know if you hear it. And let me know. Y'all let me know if you hear it. Let me know if you hear it. Y'all listen to this shit. Let me turn it down a little bit. Let's go.
Devin's job to make the fight more competitive. And when I first seen like the first round of the Devin fight, I'm like, man, he looks a little jittery, like maybe a little PTSD from the last fight, till he, kind of settles down and finds his rhythm and finds his timing and his distance. Let me just use the whole ring until I figure out where I'm at and what I'm doing, and then go from there. And then the 3rd round went, and then the 5th round went, and then the 7th round went, and then before you know it, 12 rounds going by, and he left the ring unscathed, uncut, unbruised, and was ready to move on to the Ron fight, right? And I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, he's scared. That's why he's fighting like that. But when you fight a whole fight like that, if that was nervous energy, you would have burnt yourself out. You know, you would have been like, he clearly trained to fight like that. So that was purposeful. You know, he did that on purpose, because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of leg conditioning it takes, it's not easy. Now, was it the most appetizing fight? No. Was it the most back and forth fight? No. Was it the most, you know, exciting and, man, I want to run that one back? No. But it's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive. It's not Devin's job to make the fight more exciting. It's Jose's job to make the fight more competitive. It's Jose's job to make the fight more exciting.
All right, okay, hold on. Now we finna break this. Hey, shout out to New Country. Where do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start on this? Like, it's so much. It's so much to unpack. I'm like, where do I start? All right. For what? Let's do this. Let's do this. As I said before, when two fighters get in the ring to fight each other, it's the duty of both fighters to entertain the fans. There are many different ways to entertain the fans. The product has many different ways to entertain the paying audience or the buying public. That doesn't mean that the product has to stand there. You hit me, I hit you, No, because people like to go from one extreme to the other extreme, as though there's no in between. As though I was looking at a Georgie Benton fight earlier today. One of my favorite fighters, Georgie Benton. He was one of the guys that was known for doing the Philly shell. I'm not going to say he was the inventor of it, but he was, you know what I mean? I remember watching a fight with Georgie Benton and Hurricane Carter fighting each other. I think in the 60s, something like that. Anyways, hold on. Matter of fact, let's hit this part one more time. Let's hit this part. Just this part one more time. We're going to stop it on this. Let's go.
It's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive.
All right. Let's just stop right there. Whose job is it to make the fight more competitive? Let me see who can get this answer. Fighter A or fighter B? If Devin Haney gets in the ring with Jose Ramirez, whose job is it to make the fight exciting? I'm not even worried about it competitive, because competitive is a matter of a perception. It's a matter of, perception. Like, okay, this guy, if this, let's say one guy's way more skilled than the other guy, and he imposes his dominance on this one guy to where the fight is not even competitive because it was a one-sided beatdown. For the people who are rooting for that guy, that may be an exciting fight to them. For people who are rooting for the other guy, it may not be exciting. But it wasn't a competitive fight because it was just a one-sided beatdown. The other guy didn't show up. So it's different ways fights cannot be, competitive. But however, that's to the interpretation of the individual. Now, when it comes to excitement, that's a whole nother ball game, because excitement entails entertainment. Excitement entails entertainment. So it's the duty of both fighters. The answer was it is the duty of Devin Haney to make the fights more exciting, and it's the duty of Jose Ramirez to make the fights more exciting. The fans come to be entertained. They're excited. They're happy because they find joy and pleasure in that which they are seeing. It's like going to a concert and the concert was trash. Man, I went to go hear Beyonce sing, man. Dog, man, her voice sounded real deep. She was sitting down in the chair. She almost fell off the stage. She had to take a break. She took a 10-minute break every verse. You get what I'm saying? So it like, the fans are like, man, this shit was trash. I'm just giving an analogy. You get what I'm saying? So just giving an analogy of fans. So when fans want to be entertained, that's all. So I say Caleb Plant is wrong on that. It's the duty of both fighters to be entertaining. Let's go.
When I first seen like the first round of the Devin fight, I'm like, man, he looks a little jittery, like maybe a little PTSD from the last fight till he, you know, kind of settles down.
So he noticed something was wrong. He said, when I first saw Devin Haney come out, I noticed he was a little jittery. So I figured maybe he suffered from a little bit of PTSD. So that was his observation. He immediately observed something that he deemed was kind of off. And he assumed, started thinking, what could it be? And his mind came up with maybe it's a little PTSD from the last fight. Ryan Garcia drug cheater. You get what I'm saying? So that's what he said. Let's continue. Shout out to Curtis Robinson. Curtis, what's going on, fam? Jamie from New York. Flex, what's going on, brother? Texas 16 South, the lovely Miss Connie. John Martinez, salute, fam. Shout out to John. Shout out to John Martinez. John, what's going on, brother? John Martinez is in the building. Let's go. Let's continue. Let's continue. Hold on. Let's continue. Turn it back this way.
And finds his rhythm and finds his timing and his distance. A little jittery, like maybe a little to make the fight more competitive. And when I first seen like the first round, it's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive. And when I first seen like the first round of the Devin fight, I'm like, man, he looks a little jittery, like maybe a little PTSD from the last fight.
This is what he said. I didn't say this. This is what he said. This what Caleb Plant said. That's why I say, you know what, fam? I say, you know what, man? I say, man, I know he tried to help them. I know he tried to help them, but he dissed them at the same time. He doesn't realize it though. Hey, shout out to Tila. He doesn't realize it. Now he ain't dissing them, but he's discrediting this. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like y'all gotta hear this. Hey, y'all gotta hear this. Hold on. Y'all gotta hear this to understand where I'm coming from.
Till he, you know, kind of settles down and finds his rhythm and finds his Devin's job to make the fight more competitive. And when I first seen like the first round of the Devin fight, I'm like, man, he looks a little jittery, like maybe a little PTSD from the last fight till he, you know, kind of settles down and finds his rhythm and finds his timing and his distance. You know, let me just use the whole ring until I figure out where I'm at, what I'm doing, and then, you know, go from there. And then the third round went, and then the fifth round went. And
let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. When I first saw Devin step into the ring, I noticed that he looked a little jittery. You know what I mean? You know, and I figured maybe he was suffering from a little PTSD from the last fight and all that stuff there. So I said, well, you know, maybe he's just gonna take 2 or 3 rounds to figure out what's going on, get his legs up under him, and then you know, then he was gonna go at it, right? Then he said, I noticed the third round went, then the third round went by, the fifth round went by, the seventh round went by. And it's just something. So, bro, oh my God. I was high when I heard it, right? I say, man, did anybody catch this stuff? Nobody caught it. I don't know if anybody caught it, right? I say, man, he really kind of like doing Devin a disservice without even realizing it. You get what I'm saying? Let's continue.
7th round went. And, you know, then before you know his timing and his distance, you know, let me just use the whole ring until I figure out where I'm at, what I'm doing, and then, you know, go from there. And then the 3rd round went, and then the 5th round went, and then the 7th round went. And, you know, then before you know it, 12 rounds going by, and he left the ring unscathed, uncut.
Now those are facts. Those are facts. That is true. Now he did leave the ring unscathed. Man, that nigga had a scratch on him. Not one scratch. He didn't have a scratch on him, bro. Like he didn't have a scratch on him. He's right about that now. Those are facts. Those are facts.
Before you know it, 12 rounds going by, and he left the ring unscathed, uncut, unbruised, and was ready to move on to the round fight, right? And I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, he's scared. That's why he's fighting like that. But when you fight a whole fight like that, if that was nervous energy, you would have burnt yourself out. You would have been like, he clearly trained to fight like that. So that was purposeful. He did that on purpose. Because fighting like that for 12, people were like, oh.
Wait a minute. He say, now he clearly trained to fight like that. That was purposeful. Now we know he trained to fight like that. How do we know? Bill Haney came on the show and said that was his game plan. Bill Haney came on the show and said that was his game plan. So we know that was purposeful. He's right about that. He does so right about that. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, now again, I'm not dissing the performance at all, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just pointing out where I disagree with Caleb Plant at. Because Caleb Plant said that, it's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight competitive. I agree with him on that. But he said it's not his job to make the fight exciting. I disagree. It's Jose Ramirez and Devin Haney's job to make the fight exciting. Why? Because if you don't make it exciting, the people are not going to be entertained. The people are not going to be engaged. Engagement works when people pay money to see something, they have a level of expectations. Do you get what I'm saying? They are expecting to get the level of excitement that justifies them spending their money on the product, which is the fighters or the fight. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why I disagree with him at. Let's go.
Oh, he's scared. That's why he's fighting like that. But when you fight a whole fight like that, if that was nervous energy, you would have burnt yourself out. You would have been like, he clearly trained to fight like that. So that was purposeful. He did that on purpose. Because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of...
Is he trolling, dog? Is he trolling? Is he trolling, fam? Is he trolling? Oh, wait a minute. Hey, hold on. The question needs to be asked. Well, I just thought about it, right? Because I was having, I thought, is this man trolling at this point, fam? Is he trolling? Hey, John, is this man trolling? He got to be trolling, dog. No, man, listen, bro, he got to be. I'm just realizing. I said, you know what, man? This man trolling. I said, is he trolling? No, man. I know that man ain't trolling. Is he trolling, fam? I'm looking right. I said, it ain't nowhere in the hell. This man, like, he said it with a straight face too. He said it with a straight face. Hey, he said it with a straight face. I said, God damn. This man got to be trolling. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, man! This man, come on, man! You can't play with the flim flam. Anyway, let's go.
Discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of leg conditioning it takes. I just feel like a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's scared. That's why he's fighting like that." But when you fight a whole fight like that, if that was nervous energy, you would have burnt yourself out. You would have been. Like, he clearly trained.
Wait. Hold on. This gonna be my last time. Stop it. He said what he said. He said, in order for him to fight like that, what is that? To fight like that. What does he mean by fight like that? What does he mean by that? Like that would have been the follow-up question that I would have. You said fight like that. What was the that you're referring to? As it relates to Devin Haney, you said in order for him to continue to fight like that, what do you mean by that? What is the that? Like, how would you describe that? Whatever that is, how would you describe that? You get what I'm saying? You get what hey, shout out to Flex. Hey, Flex, you get what I'm saying? So let's continue.
To fight like that. So that was purposeful. But when you fight a whole fight like that, if that was nervous energy, you would have burnt yourself out. You would have been Like he clearly trained to fight like that. So that was purposeful. You know, he did that on purpose because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of
He said, he said fight like that. It's not easy. Fight like what? Fight like what? That's the question I have. Fight like what, sir? What? Fight like what? Come on, you can say it. Say it. Well, say it. Say it with me. Come on, Caleb. Say it with me. Fight like what? Bro. Bro, I was high. I'm sitting. I was high, and I'm sitting. I'm at the gym. I'm at the gym on the Stairmaster, and I'm looking at this video. I'm looking at what he said, and bro, I was like, damn. Wait a minute. I had to listen to it about 3-4 times. I said, man, I mean, is he trolling or is he? You get what I'm saying?
Fight like that. So that was purposeful. You know, he did that on purpose because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of leg conditioning it takes, it's not easy. Now, was it the most appetizing fight? No. Was it the most back and forth fight? No. Was it the most, exciting? Because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of leg conditioning it takes, it's not easy. Now, was it?
He said leg conditioning. Facts.
The most appetizing fight? No. Was it the most back and forth fight? No. Was it the most, exciting and man, I want to run that one back? No. But it's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive.
Okay, I can go for that. For argument's sake, I can go for that. This is what I disagree with.
It's not Devin's job to make the fight more exciting.
I disagree with that. It's Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez's job to make the fight more exciting. The onus is not all on Devin. To put it all on him wouldn't be accurate. The onus is on Jose Ramirez as well. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He couldn't cut the ring off. They say he landed 40 punches, and they say Devin landed 70. I think Jose Ramirez landed 40 and Devin Haney landed 70 or something of that sort. You get what I'm saying? So, he ain't do nothing either. So the onus is for the product, the fighters, to put on an entertaining show. At the end of the day, boxing is still show business. It's sports entertainment. The reason why you fight in front of a crowd is so you can, one, make money, prove your draw, make money, right? But you get to display your skills in front of thousands of people so they can witness you perform. And if they like what they see, they're going to talk about it, yell about it, scream about it, whatever. If they don't like what they see, they're going to talk about it, yell about it, scream about it, whatever. So it's always the duty of any fighter to be entertaining. However you choose to display the entertainment. Because there's many different ways to go about doing it. But however you choose to entertain the audience. But it has to be entertaining to the audience. You cannot choose to entertain the audience in a non-entertaining way and then complain or get upset with the audience because they did not agree with your assessment of your performance. Like, you should have been happy to see what you saw. Like, boxing is the only sport that does that. You tell a customer, take what I give you. Listen, take what I give you, accept it and be happy and be ready to pay for the next one. True. Boxing is the only only business that does that. It's the same shit. It's the same shit with doggone the William Skull and Canelo. Canelo looked like he didn't really want to be there. And William Skull didn't look like he, it looked like he was just, bro, neither one of them had a scratch on their face. I don't think they did, If they did have a scratch, I ain't seen it. Now, what you saw, see, no, let me tell you what you saw. I don't need you to tell me a goddamn thing. I know what I saw. If you got the niggas playing to me, if you got the niggas playing your performance to me, that tell me everything I need to know.
To this day.
Oh, he got the niggas playing his performance. So I totally disagree with Caleb playing on that. That part of it, the excitement, that's how you listen. That's how you get engagement, fam. Let's go.
It's Jose's job to make the fight more competitive. It's the Jose's job to make the fight more exciting.
So he said that it's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight more competitive, and it's not Devin Haney's job to make the fight more exciting. He said it's Jose's job. So my follow-up question would have been beautiful. I had two. You said for him to put on a performance like that, the first question would be, what do you mean by that? Describe the that in this particular scenario. What do you mean by that? That's one. And then two, you said that you absolved Devin Haney's responsibility of making the fight more competitive and more entertaining, but you put the burden on Jose Ramirez to make the fight more competitive and more entertaining. Why is that? That's the question I would have asked him. Why is that? That's the question I would have asked him. Why is that? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, why did you, like, what was behind your decision? What was behind the decision making to say Devin don't have to make it competitive, he don't have to make it exciting, but Jose Ramirez has to make it competitive, he has to make it exciting? Why is that? Two people in the ring together. One guy has a responsibility to do A, B, C, and D. The other guy doesn't have the responsibility to do A, B, C, and D. Or how did you come to that conclusion? Or why did you come to that conclusion? That's a great question. That's a great question. Hold on, we got a super chat. We got a couple of them. I got Curtis. Shout out to Boss Latino.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that half a dub. He said, Coach, salute, Coach. Did you hear about Nello pulling up to Philly on sparring boots today? Yeah, I heard about it. That's a good move. That's a good move for Canelo. Really good move. Shout out to who is this here? Oh, this dude trolling. He gone. Don't worry about it. He gone. Create another account. I know you will. Shout out to JC. What to say, family? Say it takes two to tango. Facts. Cause Robert say facts, Coach. Yeah. So I mean, again, that's why I totally disagree at, because the fans are the lifeblood of boxing. Fans are the lifeblood of boxing. What makes the sport? The fans. There is no sport called boxing if it wasn't for the fans. If you take the matter of fact, if you take the fans away, some would argue, what good is the sport if you take the fans away? Because it's energy. You got a bunch of people, it's energy. If you're a fighter and you going into somebody's hometown or whatever, and the crowd is booing you, and you got to get in the ring under all that pressure with all of these people booing you, and you in that ring, and you still got to face the hometown hero, and you got to fight him and put on a great performance. Do you get what I'm saying? You got to fight him and put on a great performance. That's energy. You can feel it. They booing you against all odds. You had to back up against the wall in enemy territory. You get what I'm saying? The level of opposition that you had to overcome in order to achieve this goal. You get what I'm saying? So just imagine having something like that without fans. without fans. Did you get what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. That's why I disagree with that. Shout out to the Cardenas. He say boxers are like musical artists. They have to put on a good performance, win or lose. Shout out to Lonnie. Lonnie, Chi-Town, stand up, fam. You get what I'm saying? Now, making it exciting don't mean y'all trade punches. Shout out to JC. That means making it exciting. I was watching the fight with Azuma Nelson and Pernell Whitaker. Azuma Nelson had moved up from super featherweight to challenge Pernell Whitaker at 135. Probably is one of the most untouchable fighters in the history of boxing. One of them. Because, of course, you got Roberto Duran. You get what I'm saying? And then Floyd Mayweather as well. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just saying. Exciting fight. The Matador, the Bull was at work. Azuma Nelson. The Matador, which was Pernell Whitaker, he was directing traffic. Directing to the left, directing to the right. Right there, mid-range. He right there. Bap, bap, bap. He right there with him. He was on the back foot. But he was mid-range with it. Turning them, slipping, rolling, right there. Y'all watch that fight, Pernell Whitaker versus the Professor, Azuma Nelson. Great fight. It was a great fight. Promise you that. Great fight. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Anyway, let me get ready to drop these phone lines, man. I want everybody to call the show. Hold on, let me see. No, I wanted to show y'all something. Hey, shout out to Jonathan Ramirez. NPR in the building. Salute, fam. Shout out to ZA Boxing Nation. Salute. I want to show y'all something right quick. I want y'all to hear something. I want y'all to hear this. I do not own the rights to this material. It's for educational purposes only. This is Jake Paul.
A little erotic, bro. Like if we're both in these. I want Menendez Brothers show. Oh, shut the yeah, this is America. Yeah. The currency isn't being liked. The currency is attention.
He gets it. Y'all heard what he said? I wanted y'all to hear that one part.
This is America. Yeah. The currency isn't being liked. The currency is attention.
He said the currency isn't being liked. The currency is attention. Social media is all about getting attention. Whoever can get the most attention based on whatever you present to the world on camera, that would determine how much clout you get, how much news pressings you get, how much attention you get. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about, attention. Attention is the new currency. That's why they say pay attention. Hey, man, pay attention. Attention is a form of currency. Because you're taking your time out that you can never get back, and you're focusing on something that got your attention. Boxing is not only the currency of money, but boxing is the currency of attention. If a motherfucker ain't putting on a good enough performance to get the attention of the people, then that means the people have lost interest in you, if they ever had interest in you. When you can no longer garner the attention, which is the currency, of course it's money. But when you can't get their attention anymore, that's when you got to do whatever it takes in order to keep their attention. Bill Haney is really good at keeping people's attention. I would say he's a master at it at this point. Who else? Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is good at keeping people's attention. Eddie Hearn is good at keeping people's attention. I mean, I don't know who else would you say in boxing? Who else would you say in boxing? That's well, you know what? The best way for a fighter to get the people's attention is in the ring. What he does in the ring and against, and who he does it against. But of course, the fighter can juggle. The fighter can do two things at the same time, because we are living in. Somebody said Floyd Mayweather. You're right about that. We're living in the day in the social media age. So yeah, so the fighter can do two things at the same time. Ramon say Don King was the master at keeping people's attention. Facts. Don King was a master. Don King was a master at keeping people's attention. This social media era is all about attentions. That's why you got video shorts. That's why you have reels. We got to find something fast and quick. No Diddy. That can, you know, and it has to be exciting. As soon as it come on, that first second, you got a 3-second window to catch someone's attention on social online with a reel. That first second, that third second, that first second, the second and the third second, you got that 3-second window. You got to get their attention. Bam, just like that. That's how this shit works. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how this shit works. So when you tell me it's not the job of the fighter, it's not the job of Devin Haney, one fighter, to make the fight exciting, but says it's the job of the other fighter to Jose Ramirez to make the fight exciting, that's totally wrong. Both of them got to make it exciting, because that's what the people paid to see. Do you get what I'm saying? If they're not excited anymore, guess what? You no longer garner their attention. And if you don't garner their attention, then how can you justify outside of Turkey out of sheet wanting to pay you massive purses? This is why they say Tank Davis is a star. This is why Leonard Ellerby say, man, Tank Davis, that guy, he a star. You know, Tank Davis is a draw. Okay, what is a draw? Tank Davis, when he fights, he draws people and he gets their attention. He draws their attention. When I fight, people come. No Diddy. Why? Because they know and they believe in that product that's in the ring. That product is going to entertain us. I know what he gonna do. He gonna entertain us. He is going to garner our attention. As soon as we found out he was going to fight here, he go to Atlanta, he sell out the Dome. He go to DC, he sell out the arena over there. He go to Vegas, he sell that out. He go anywhere he go, he sell it out, because he garners the attention of the people. That's why, listen, that's why I told y'all. That's why I told y'all. I say, man, look here, man. You got some fighters, they are walking economies. You know what a walking economy is? A walking economy is anytime this person do something, he bring the bank. True. He bring the money. Anytime, that's a walking economy. What does that mean? Man, when I fly to Vegas and people find out that I'm going to be fighting in Vegas, hotels are sold out that day, that weekend, that entire week. We're gonna deal with small numbers. Let's say an average weekend, no events or whatever in Vegas is $10 billion. Casino make $10 billion a week. I'm just throwing some numbers out there. Oh, we got a spike in money and revenue right here this week. What happened? Oh, Canelo coming to town. For real? Yeah, Canelo had a fight in Vegas. He was fighting hog head cheese or whatever. He fought on Caleb Plant or whatever the case may be. And people came from all over the country. We saw a spike in traffic. Hotels were booked on the entire strip. Airports was packed with people flying in to go see the fight. Restaurants was sold out, was booked up, because all the people who came in to see Canelo, and they were excited. When you see them fight week and you talk to them, hey, Puto, give me a Puto. Yeah, what's up, Puto? Yeah, man, hey, Puto, check this out. Hey, why are you here? Why are you happy? Man, I'm here to see Canelo. You happy? Yeah, I'm excited. Why are you excited? Because Canelo go knock that Puto out. He gonna knock him out. Yeah, they're excited. So when you say it's not the fighter's job to make an exciting fight, to make the fight exciting, you're dead wrong on that. True. The excitement is what brings the people there. And the excitement gives them something to talk about. If you take that element away from fighting, what's the purpose of fighting? Walking economies. You get what I'm saying? Shit, this motherfucker come to the casinos quadruple their profits that week. The venue sold out, packed to the gills. Police officers get a chance to work overtime so they can cover the event. You get what I'm saying? You know, you take excitement out of any sport. There is no sport. There's no such thing as a sport without excitement. It has to be some level of excitement. Hell, even golf has excitement. Even chess has excitement. If you ever played chess, there's a level of there's a level of entertainment and joy, but a fight within when you're playing chess against your other opponent. That shit gets serious. So with someone on the outside looking in who don't play chess, you'll never understand it. Man, why do you motherfuckers sit there just standing at the board for 20 minutes ain't doing a goddamn thing? You get what I'm saying? That guy is trying to figure out, okay, my best move is this. My best move is to move the bishop here to back up my pawn. But if I do that, what would be his next move? And if his next move with the knight puts me at if it threatens two pieces at the same time, then I don't want to put myself in that situation. So let me find out what other move I need to make besides that. And if I make this move, what would be his counter move? And then how can I defend that? The chess is real serious. Chess is real serious. I'm telling you. I'm not as good as I used to be. I'm rusty right now. I'm a screw up right now, but you know what I mean? The best way to get good in chess is to play somebody who's better than you and just continuously to get beat. That's the best way to get better at chess. You got to play somebody who's way better than you and let them just pound you. No diddy. That's it. That's it. You get what I'm saying? So that's it. Yeah, just play somebody better than you, dog. Take them licks in the beginning. He gonna be whooping your ass. He gonna be checkmating you. But then what's gonna happen? You're gonna start remembering stuff. You're gonna start remembering stuff. Oh, okay, I remember that shit right there. Yeah, I remember that. See, last time I did that nigga hit me with the overhand right. Then he sent that bishop over here. Then he checked me. Then he pinned me down with the knight over here. So yeah, I ain't falling for that shit right there. Oh, he did that last time when he pushed that pawn. Listen. When he did that, when he came out with the Queen's Gambit last time, he came out with that Queen's Gambit last time, and I took the bait on it, and then you know what I mean, and then I'm trying to cover the pawn to make sure he don't get the pawn back, while all the same time I was compromising, exposing my king to all different types of attacks. Did you get what I'm saying? So that shit right there is serious. But I say all that to say this: you got to entertain people, fam. It's the duty of the fighter to entertain the audience. If you don't entertain the audience, they ain't want to see your ass no more. And then you can't tell the audience, no, I tell you what you should like. You don't tell me what I should. You don't tell me what you should like. I tell you what you should like. You should be happy. And let me explain it to you. I don't need you to explain shit to me, nigga. I know what I saw. True. So I disagree with Caleb Plant. I agree with him on one part of it because I get what he's saying, but the other part I definitely don't. I totally disagree. Totally disagree. You get what I'm saying? And I think I proved my point right there. Let me go ahead and drop these phone lines, man. Y'all know what time it is. 530-494-9636. Y'all hit the phone lines, call the old boy, and tell me, what do you think?
You want to talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, bitch.
Sup, fool? You gonna talk shit about me, homie? Where you from?
Hundreds of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
Call the coach at 530-494-9636. We waiting on your bitch ass. Hey, hey, you know what? I'm sitting back, fam. I'm sitting there pole pimping and shoulder leaning. I'm sitting back watching. I'm sitting back watching all this shit, man. You guys know I watch everything. I watch everything, fam. And as I said about this boxing shit, like, bro, The audience, the fans are the ones, bro. You get what I'm saying? Hold on now. Like, you can't tell the boxing. The only sport I know that tell the fans what they should like. Carla, what's your name? You calling from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin, talk to me.
Yeah, Coach, I seriously disagree with what Caleb Plant's talking about. I think he's just trying to be polite. Maybe he's cool with the Haneys or whatever. But the facts are the facts. I mean, here you are. You're a plus 1,200 favorite. You know, you're fighting a dude coming off an embarrassing loss. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you were supposed to put on a boxing clinic. You were supposed to do what you did in Australia against Cambosis and show the world, especially the second fight, to show them, you know, who you really are and how that Ryan Garcia shit was a fluke. You know, but instead, he either just said, fuck it, pulled the Canelo and mailed it in, or like Caleb Plant said, he just fought all nervous and scared and, you know, basically just put on a bullshit, you know, performance that nobody can be proud of. Not his fans, not his team, nobody, because Jose Ramirez was basically there just to be embarrassed. He was just there to make him look good, because ain't nobody fell off a cliff as far as boxing goes worse than this dude. This dude, shit, the few wins he's had since he got whooped on by Josh Taylor were gimmies. You know, he fought Comey, which Comey was done. He's lost every fight he's had since. You know what I mean? He fought Pedraza, who, you know, ain't won a fight in like 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And you walk into this one, it's like, dude, I'm only here to be hit. And, you know, Devin Haney just didn't go for it. You know what I mean? For whatever reason. And he just made himself look bad. He could have been the highlight of that whole evening. He could have been the one dude to walk out of there with a knockout. You know, he could have been the one dude that said, you know what? Fuck what y'all talking. Next pay-per-view, I'm headlining. I'm that dude. Above Ryan, above Teal, above everybody. But instead, he just, you know, he didn't stand out. You know, and he ain't got no excuses. It's not like, oh, Ramirez was running from him. I mean, Ramirez, you know, he has to take his share of the blame, but dude, you the one that handpicked this dude. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he was thrown in your lap because he's a draw, he's a popular fighter, he's a hometown fighter. He was just some random dude from Fresno that, you know, either they put him on the card because he's a Golden Boy fighter, or because, according to Robert Garcia, supposedly the Haneys were in talks to fight Lindolfo Delgado, an undefeated 140-pounder, and for whatever reason, they picked Ramirez. It was either because of the Golden Boy connection or because they're like, this is an easier fight, a safer fight. Let's jump on that one. But
so from an excitement standpoint, I get what Caleb Plant is saying about the competitiveness and all that stuff, the competition or whatever. But from an excitement standpoint, who do you put the onus on, Devin Haney or Jose Ramirez? Because Caleb Plant said
100% on.
Go ahead.
100% on Haney, because Haney was quote unquote the A side. He's the 1,200 favorite. He's the, you know, undefeated fighter. He got all this momentum because that loss got erased. You know, nobody was there to see Jose Ramirez outside of his family. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, the spotlight is on you. You know, the argument was, why aren't you and Ryan headlining it?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You're saying the reason why the spotlight is on Devin Haney because he's the one that's getting all of the accolades. He's the one that's being compared to Floyd Mayweather, you know, this and that, yada yada yada. So, you know, when you have that level of hype or hyperbole or level of you know, I forgot what I'm looking for. I guess maybe promotion or level of expectations or level of hype or whatever. People expect you to live up to that what's being said, and that wasn't the type of performance that they got, considering what was being said in the lead up to it or whatever. So I see what you're saying.
100%. This is like his third or fourth pay-per-view. Ramirez ain't never even sniffed the pay-per-view, Coach.
So I see what you're saying. All right, I got you. Hey, shout out to Martin, Old Town. I see what he's saying now, because I was saying that, okay, look, it's the onus of both of those guys. But I get what he's saying. You know, if you are the person that's getting all of the hype, then the expectation is for you. No one expected Jose Ramirez to do anything. Ain't nobody that come there to see him. They didn't come to see Otis. They came to see what you was going to do to Otis. So I kind of see what he's saying. I kind of get what he's saying now. Yeah, I didn't even look at it that way. I mean, yet and still, it's still the duty of both fighters to make it exciting. Yet and still, did you get what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying from a standpoint of, you know what, the level of expectation. Because I wanted to see what he looked like as well. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to see what he looked like. I wanted to see what Ryan Garcia looked like as well. So, but I totally disagree with Caleb Plant. I think both guys need to be the ones to make the fight exciting. But I understand why the burden of proof would be more on Devin Haney because of all of the Floyd-like comparisons and stuff. I'll call it, hold on. And another thing too, right? If you're going to compare a fighter to Floyd, look at how Floyd was performing at 26 years old or in the lead up to 26, and then compare that to how Devin Haney is performing. And when I say that, I'm not talking about just belts. Okay, he became undisputed, stuff like that. You got that. He got that. Bam. But I think Floyd was what, super featherweight? I think it was super featherweight at that time. Look at how he was performing at that time before he became Money Mayweather. He was hitting and not getting hitting. He was hitting and not getting hit, and he was beating motherfuckers right there mid-range. Look at that super featherweight Floyd at 26. So, you know, that's that. Now that's what Bill can you can put this together, put a presentation together on this. Let's look at how Floyd was performing at 26 years old, at 21, at 22, at 23, at 24, at 25, at 26. How was he performing? You get what I'm saying? Like that Floyd right there, that Floyd right there was a motherfucker. And he used to be right there, mid-range. Right there, mid-range. He right there. You can't hit that motherfucker. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Coach? This is Coach Eddie from the ATL.
Coach Eddie, talk to me.
What's up, brother? So I heard your opening monologue, and I heard everything that Caleb Plant said. Now, based off what Caleb Plant said, he should be praising William Score right now. Because William Score did the exact same thing, and actually he did it better than Devin Haney because the opponent that he did it to, which was an all-time great. He was able to utilize a game plan, a strategy to basically handicap Canelo into throwing 158 punches. He used the ring, he pop shot it, he did everything Devin Haney did, and he did it to an all-time great, a guy that was supposed to there to knock out William Score. So, but he's not jumping out the window for that, you know. At the end of the day, I kind of disagree with Martin a little bit. I think that the owners was a little bit on Ramirez also, because like at the end of the day, if the guy is moving around on you, you can make the guy fight. I mean, Hamza Sherrod tried to do it against Carlos Adames, and Carlos Adames wouldn't let him do it. You know, he stepped to him. You know, Bob and Weed kind of did the Joe Frazier thing when he got close to him, he let his hands go, and then allow himself to be tied up. So it's all, if you got a guy who's moving around like that, there are ways to cut the ring off. There are ways to make the guy fight. You can make the guy fight whether he wants to or not. Either you're going to fight me or you're going to get hit. Either way, I'm right here in your chest. I'm letting my hands go, and you're going to fight. You know, and so I think a lot of that is missing. You know, these guys making these excuses, talking about where the guy was moving around too much. You know, nah. You got all type of fighters in boxing. You got runners. You got cuties. They call them cutie guys, fancy guys. You got power punchers. You got people who are aggressive. You got guys who, you know, just going to show up for a payday. So you have to deal with these type of guys in boxing.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way he fighted, then make him fight.
Make him fight, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, as Mama Hopefield would say, for every style, there's a counter style. See, you got to know how to counter that. If he wants to work the perimeter of the ring, you have to know how to counter that. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, you got to make these guys fight, man. You know, I say Devin's giving, and this is the thing right here. Devin's getting a lot of criticism. Okay, and you know, and that may be he may deserve that. Yeah. But nobody's keeping that same vengeance for Canelo. He's face of boxing. This dude his performance was worse than Devin.
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about it. You know what I mean?
But I think what it is they're saying, they're trying to say that, well, at least Canelo was the one that was going forward and the other guy was working the perimeter. And this case with Devin Haney, he was the guy that was doing what William Scold did, or William Scold did what he did, work the perimeter versus the guy who was moving forward. So the forward guys did not know how to cut the ring off. So that was the issue. That was a big issue as well. But I get what you're saying, you know, because Canelo is the fighter that has more notoriety. He's the face of boxing. So too much is given, much is expected. So people expected him to do a lot better than what he did because of all of the accolades, all of the hype. Very similar to Devin Haney, but on a smaller scale. When you're getting all the accolades, all of the hype, and you're saying this guy the next Floyd Mayweather, and he's 26 years old, and look what he's accomplished at 26, which is great. But I'm like, okay, is he performing the way Floyd Mayweather performed? Because that Floyd Mayweather at 26 at super featherweight was a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, but I get what you're saying though, because of Canelo's notoriety, much should be expected of more of him. I get what you're saying.
I'm gonna ask you one more question. I know you got people calling. I'm gonna ask you one more question. Now, as far as Bill being in his corner, I think sometimes having your father in your corner could be a detriment to you because either he's gonna let the fight go too long, like what he did against Ryan Garcia, or he's gonna make you fight in such a way that's gonna be so cautious that it's not gonna benefit you. So I think a lot of times, you know, I think Bill suffers from PTSD also from witnessing what happened to his son. I ain't being totally serious, coach. I mean, that's your flesh and blood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he felt them punches.
Think about it,
so you said Bill felt them too. That is his son now. That is his son.
I mean, think about it. That's why having your father in your corner, it can work for you, it can work against you, because sometimes they're gonna let the fight go too long because that's my son. Yeah. Or they're going to be like, nah, son, don't do this. They either going to stop the fight or they're going to tell you to play it safe because they know they got to look out for you because that's your flesh and blood. You don't want to see your kid get beat up. So you're going to have an emotional attachment to the fighter that somebody maybe on the outside would have probably been able to get Devin Haney to motivate. If they look, man, you got a dead man in front of you, go out there and knock this dude out. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Devin could have made the job a whole lot easier. He probably could have went in and got the stop if he would have stepped on the gas. Because the shots that he did land against Ramirez, they did hurt him at times. I think he got buckled a few times. And Devin probably could have got the guy out of there if he would have had the right person in his ear. Say, man, look, go out there and get this guy, like somebody like an Emmanuel Stewart. Go out there and get this guy. You got dead man in front of you. Go on and get rid of him.
But you know what though? Bill Haney is not that type of trainer. He doesn't train like that. Like he did it with Lomachenko. He tried to do it with Lomachenko, made Dale fight Loma in the mid-range to in the pocket, stabbing to the body, rough him up. He did that. That was a good performance. He did that. That was a good performance. Ryan Garcia, he tried to do that. No, Regis Prograis. Remember, he had Regis Prograis hurt. Everybody saw Regis Prograis hurt many a time, even after he got knocked down. And I asked Bill, I said, man, why you ain't send Devin Haney to go stop him? No, we wanted to show everybody that we can go 12 rounds without getting hit with the left hand. Y'all said he couldn't defend the left hand. Y'all said he couldn't defend the left hand, you know, so we wanted to show everybody. I said, Bill, that's full of shit. Like the duty of a fight, you want to end that shit as soon as possible. You don't intentionally want to go 12 rounds with anybody. If you can end it early, you want to end it early. So when he said that, I knew that was some bullshit. And I'm like, but Bill, he's not a killer instinct type trainer. This dude hurt. He in a wheelchair. He in a coma right now. He barely standing up. All you gotta do is go step to him and put 5 punches together, and it's over with. Bill is not that type of trainer. He'll tell him, no, we got him hurt. No, he, the ambulance is coming. No, he on one leg, but don't knock him out. No, we just got to show him, show him your fancy footwork and good defense. And it's like, nah, dog, when you got that dude, you got to get him out of there.
Yeah, because Shane Mosley, he was disappointed. He did an interview. He said, this ain't what we worked on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, Shane was kind of letting everybody know, hey, look, I was handcuffed. This ain't what we worked on. But Shane was telling me, man, we're going to stop this dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Shane, they handcuffed him in the ring. Yeah, but that's my call, Coach.
Absolute fair. Yeah, Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane said, "Hey, hold on. Now, this is what I want to ask y'all. Caleb Plant said, he said, man, that's not easy." Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping right here. Hold on, y'all tell me if I'm tripping right. That's not easy what Devin did. To move like that for 12 rounds. You know what type of conditioning? Carla, hold on. You know what type of conditioning? Now listen, Caleb Plant isn't lying. You know what type of conditioning you have to be in to move like that for 12 rounds? Do you know how strong your legs have to be? How could bro, it just when he said some real stuff, but it sounds crazy to me at the same time. Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Jamie from New York.
Jamie, talk to me.
Trinidad and Chavez were great at cutting off the ring, Coach.
Yeah.
These young fighters need to go back and watch them tape and learn from these guys. For me, both fighters are at fault, for putting people to sleep. Now, I don't know what the hell Plant is talking about.
Yeah.
He's a fighter. His mentality is to win. I feel some fighters don't care how they win, for as long as they get the victory.
Mm.
But this is the era where fighters don't care about what fans think. I've seen a couple of fighters lately say, "The hell with the fans." You know what I'm talking about? They don't give a fuck, bro. But they expect us to care for them, So they speak highly of them too, and cap. But and yes, I agree with Plant. He's trying to fight like this.
Yeah.
What Bill did not think is that they were going to turn people off. The fans off. And that style they pick, I'm sure Shane Mosley trained him to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Coach, I know you know.
Yeah,
Mosley did not fight like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I don't understand to this day why they hired him for. I don't get it. But Mosley was a warrior. His mentality was to put you to sleep.
Mm.
Haney put people to sleep by running. That style by fire, man. If they get hit or not.
So is it right to put the onus on Devin Haney? Now, Martin said something that I guess I kind of agree with it. A fighter who it's the duty of both fighters to entertain their audience.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a sport without fans. Fans are attracted to excitement. They find joy and pleasure in being entertained, whether it's boxing, basketball, football, cricket, golf, whatever.
Yep. Any sport.
When Caleb Plant says it's not the duty of Devin Haney to make the fight exciting, but says it's the duty of Jose Ramirez to make the side fighting, what I don't understand is how can you say that, but when you have two fighters, it takes two to tango. So both fighters have to be willing to make the fight. Now styles do make fights. I do get that. But once you figure the style out, it's up to each fighter to figure out how can I win this match without taking the least amount of damage, but at the same time be entertaining and put on a show. If the fighters are not willing to do that, it kind of destroys the credibility of excitement. And I disagree with that. Do you think that the burden should have been more on Devin Haney to make the fight exciting, or Jose Ramirez, or do you think it should have been both?
Nah, both fighters, man. Both fighters, bro. I think Plant is full of shit. I remember Sugar Ray Leonard, fighting tune-up fights you know, and totally outmatch the other guys, and he came to take your head off. He'll knock him out. You know what I mean? He'll get them out of there quick. That's what you're supposed to do as a fighter. You entertain the fighters, man. I mean, the fans. You know, this boy, scared to get hit or not, you know, he ran all 12 rounds. That's reality. I don't think Bill thought this through. You know, then Bill wants to convince people that, you know, that we did not see what we saw. You know, we know the difference between running and fighting. So the Haney's had, you know, Haney's had a chance, man, to make a statement, and they blew it. Respect from New York. That's my call, Coach.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about it that way, bro. I didn't look at it that way until that phone call. The guy, like Canelo, like Coach Eddie said, Canelo was the one that's the face of boxing. They, you know, there are higher expectations for certain fighters. Like, all fighters are not created equal. Like when Tank Davis stepped in the ring, they expected him to knock out Lamont Rowe, to knock out whoever he get in the ring with. There's a certain level of expectation that comes with a Tank Davis fight. So there's a certain level of expectation that comes with the Terrence Crawford fight, or Canelo Alvarez fight, or a Alexander Usyk fight. People know Usyk go outbox it for 12 rounds. He's going to make it very competitive while doing it. And if he can stop it, he's going to try to stop you. You know, people have a Carla, hold on. People have a level of expectation when they when they see Inoue the Monster. Inoue has fans, and he has a level. His fans have a level of expectation. They expect something when they see Inoue performs in the ring. Tank Davis fans expect something when they see him perform in the ring. Devin Haney fans expect something. Everybody expect different things. You know. Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name Herb Winston from New York. What's up, Coach?
Herb Winston, talk to me, fam.
Hey, what's up, my brother? Yeah, man. They bugging, Coach. They bugging out, man. I'm actually at digital warfare with these other cats and these other pages about this shit here,
say
man.
Digital warfare.
At war with these guys, man. I know what you meant back in the days when you first started. I'm at digital warfare with these guys, man, for real. I'm like, wow. And I'm like, yo, first of all, Devin will never be in the same tax bracket as Floyd. He'll never make the same amount of money he made. And second of all, I've been watching all these young fighters since they've been coming up. And they all jacked up with Floyd. The upper body movement, the upper body twist movement, Kamel Moulton, Tank, Haynes, Shakur, all of them jacked up from Floyd. Andre Ward jacked the jab into the body, knocking you off track from Floyd. See, Floyd, and then you got this little young kid here trying to outshine the master, but everybody learns from him. Somebody no sense, you know. And
who's the master? Who's the master?
I mean, I'm skill-wise, Floyd is the master. even at an old age, he was still able. At an older age, he was still able to pull these fights off and get oohs and ahs out. He's done a lot of moving around, hot shots, but he's still got a couple of oohs and ahs. You know, it's totally different from just total nervous, and it's totally different.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes,
and it won't be long before Bill has to use his carnal skills to get Devin some good fights, because it's gonna be it's not gonna be long before Turkey has no use for him. Real talk. You know, it's gonna be his time. He's on a clock right now. Turkey had no use for him after a while. Bill gonna have to take his carnal skills somewhere, try to get Devin some fights. That's how that's gonna end up. That's my call, Coach.
Absolutely,
peace, my brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, Herb, y'all heard Herb? Herb say, "Who's the master?" I said, "Who's the master?" You know what I mean? He said, "Floyd, Floyd Mayweather." hey, who's better than the Shogun?
Who's better than the Shogun?
Bruce Leroy, that too.
Bruce Leroy. Bruce Leroy.
Hey, shout out to Summer in November. Shout out to Highlight Space. Shout out to NPR. Hey, no, I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories. Carla, what's the name? Where you calling from? You know, I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories about the Wasa, legendary Bruce, Lord Devin Haney catching bullets with his teeth. Catches bullets with his teeth. Nigga, please.
I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories about the Wasa, legendary Bruce Leroy catching bullets with his teeth. Catches bullets with his teeth. Nigga, please.
I am sick. Hey, hey, Carl, hold on. Hey, hold on. Hey, next time y'all be on the live, y'all see Bill either over here or at the Boxing Boys or here at anybody else podcast. If y'all see Bill, y'all say that to him. Say, Bill, I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories about the what's up. Legendary Lord Devin Haney catching bullets with his teeth. Catches bullets with his teeth. Nigga, please. Y'all trying to pull up on Bill. Y'all pull up on Bill just like that. Nigga, please. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Raymond from Illinois, coach.
Hey, Raymond, talk to me, fam.
Yeah, man. Like I told you before, coach, I was mad as fuck when I saw that performance he put up. Man, that shit was bogus as hell. Cause it's like, bro, you didn't show us shit. We watching to see what you gonna do after what just happened your last fight. You feel me? And you do that type of shit. That type of shit to turn fans off on me, like real shit. And I agree with Coach Eddie a little bit, coach, because I was watching the whole card and I was like, damn, why is goddamn it like the only topic is Devin Haney? Because that shit was ass. Ain't no arguing with that. You got to be a real fanboy to be arguing against that. But the shit is crazy because when I watch Canelo and Skull, you motherfuckers mad at Skull when he really was fighting from what I watched until the last 4 rounds. Last 4 rounds, he took all right. The other opponent, he wasn't doing shit either. So my thing is, why is there's only a certain group of people that motherfuckers target to talk about? Because the Ryan and Rolly fight, that shit was super ass. Like, them niggas weren't running. They were just standing in front of each other, like, posturing most of the fight. Like, nobody talked about that type of shit. I watched the Boxing Voice and Showbiz. Like, Neff even kept it real. Neff is a diehard Canelo fan, if you ever watched.
Yeah.
He a diehard Canelo fan. But he admitted, what the fuck did Canelo do to win the fight? Like, y'all mad at Skull, but this nigga, when he had the chance to fight him, when Skull stood in front of him, he wasn't fighting.
Yeah.
Skull made him bag up a couple times too.
Yeah.
Like, but don't nobody want to talk about Canelo. They want to talk about Skull and Haney. Like, they were the worst 2 performers on the card.
Yeah.
Really, they wasn't.
Yeah, they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about Canelo.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about Canelo, because Canelo really did the same shit Ramirez did with Haney. Like, he was just following the nigga around the ring. And Rolly and Ryan, like Showbiz, he talk about Tank and Dev and all this shit, but talk about the whole card. Like, that, all that shit was ass. It wasn't just one fight that was ass. The whole card was shit.
Hey Raymond, do you feel that Caleb Plant has a point that it's not the duty of a certain fighter, whether it's Devin Haney or whoever? In this case, it's Devin Haney, but it's not the duty of the fighter not to entertain?
Yeah, that's bullshit. I like how Martin from Oakland, and how he said it's 100% on Devin Haney. I disagree with that, because then it'd have to be 100% on Canelo. Yeah. And they fight to, you know.
Yeah.
So that don't make sense at all.
And when it comes to Canelo, they not putting it on Canelo. They putting it on Skull. So
they not doing that.
So
it don't make sense.
I got you. Shout out to Raymond. Salute, fam. Yeah, I see exactly what he's saying. Yeah, you can't. Okay, you can't put it all on. You can't put it all on Devin Haney in one breath, but then put it all on, but then put it all on Skull. Y'all ever see Skull did the same? Okay, what about Canelo? Well, you got 2 A-side fighters. Devin is the A-side versus Jose Ramirez. Well, A-side meaning from a skill set standpoint, he's supposed to have a better skill and stuff like that. And then, Canelo is the A-side. So it seemed like that. Okay, now we talk about the dudes who see they were ready. Hey, no, but you know what, though? Hey, Coach Eddie is right. There was times in that fight where Skull standing right in front of Canelo, and he didn't really do nothing. But listen, Caleb Plant, now listen, y'all just tell me, do this sound crazy now? Again, without putting it in there, I guess I get what he's trying to say, but I don't know if he was trolling or he was just being dead serious. Hold on, y'all can't hear it. Y'all can't hear it. All right, y'all can't hear it. Yeah, I know y'all can't hear it. Let me do this. Let me pull it up on my phone. Because the audio disconnected. The audio disconnected. Let me put it up on my phone. I have it right here.
It's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive. And when I first seen like the first round of the Devin fight, I'm like, man, he looks a little jittery, like maybe a little PTSD from the last fight, till he, you know, kind of settles down and finds his rhythm and finds his timing and his distance. You know, let me just use the whole ring until I figure out where I'm at and what I'm doing, and then, you know, go from there. And then the third round went, and then the fifth round went, and then the seventh round went, and, you know, then before you know it, 12 rounds going by, and he left the ring unscathed, uncut, unbruised, and was ready to move on to the round fight, right? And I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, he's scared. That's why he's fighting like that. But when you fight a whole fight like that, if that was nervous energy, you would have burnt yourself out. You know, you would have been like, he clearly trained to fight like that. So that was.
So if you felt that Devin Haney was running, then what Caleb Plant is saying, which reiterated what Bill said, that y'all, you know, if you feel that way, you saying that he said he clearly trained like that. So basically what you're saying is he trained to run. If you feel that he ran, let's continue.
Purposeful. You know, he did that on purpose, because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of.
Do you agree with that? The style that, okay, let's add a twist to this. Some say that Devin Haney put on a boxing clinic, Bill Haney and his supporters, right? No problem. Do you give him more credit? Because according to what Caleb Plant just said, Caleb Plant is saying that, you know, what Devin Haney did is not easy. That's not easy what he did. So if you want to, you get what I'm saying? If you want to say, okay, it wasn't easy what he did, then does that make you appreciate the performance even more? Let's continue.
Discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of leg conditioning it takes. It's not easy. Now, was it the most appetizing fight? Purposeful. You know, he did that on purpose, because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of leg conditioning it takes.
He said the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of, you know, conditioning, the amount of leg conditioning, you know what I mean? You know how conditioned your legs have to be? Do you know how conditioned your legs have to be to employ that style? So according to what Caleb Plant said, would you say, okay, the level of difficulty in order to employ that type of style, you get what I'm saying, should be championed? Do you think that that's, you know, it should be championed? Now, based on, I want to give everything a fair shake over here as related to this. Shout out to Big Dog Willie. Hey, okay. He said Jake Paul versus Tate, November 22nd, Las Vegas. Facts. Yeah, why are we having that? That's a exhibition. That's a play fight. That's an exhibition fight. Shout out to Mike from Bensonhurst. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said Bill has no self-awareness. That style is the reason they got that low offer on the Sandor Martin purse bid. He's killing his son's earning potential. Okay. Shout out to Ricky. Hey, okay. Dropping that $2 super chat. He said, hell no. Make me not want to see it no more. So Rick, you said no, it doesn't make you want to see it anymore.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hold on now. Caleb Plant said that, you know, that's not easy. The level of difficulty that it takes. Do you get what I'm saying? The level of focus, the discipline. You get.
If that was nervous energy, you would have burnt yourself out. You know, you would have been like, he clearly trained to fight like that. So that was purposeful. You know, he did that on purpose, because fighting like that for 12 rounds is not easy. The amount of discipline it takes, the amount of mental focus it takes, the amount of leg conditioning it takes. It's not easy. Now, was it the most appetizing fight? No. Was it the most back and forth fight? No. Was it the most, you know, exciting and, man, I want to run that one back? No. But it's not Devin's job to make the fight more competitive. Mm-hmm. It's not Devin's job to make the fight more exciting. It's Jose's job to make the fight more competitive. It's the Jose's job to make the fight more exciting.
Man, bro, I would have loved to been there to do that follow-up question. Bro, no, bro, I would have loved, fam, but listen, based on what he just said, I had like 20 questions. I had like 20 follow-up questions based on that alone. Hey, oh, shout out to Timothy Bradley. Hey, okay. Dropping that handful. Bam, dub on your boy. Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Hold on, what you say? Tim said, hold on. Got a call on that. Call, hold on. Hey, Tim said, he said that YN ran like he had ants on him. He said, Coach, that wasn't boxing, that was dodge the fade. He said, catch me if you can. He said, scary slap boxing, no balls boxing. He said, when you scared, Coach, you fight to survive. Now, listen, I can't argue with Tim. Timothy Bradley is a retired Hall of Famer. You get what I'm saying? He's had some exciting fights. I'm just saying I know who am I to argue with that? Now I know Bill Haney. He gonna be on your bumper when you see this. He gonna be like, oh, see Timothy Bradley. Be on the lookout. Bill dropping the videos coming soon. I'm pretty sure because he see every goddamn thing. And he gonna look at this here. Say Timothy Bradley. What you say, Tim? He say he had ants on him. Coach, that wasn't boxing. That was dodge the fade. Catch me if you can. Scary slap boxing. No balls boxing. When you scared, Coach, you fight to survive. Now in defense of the Haneys, Tim, that could have been the sweet science. You don't know all of the different aspects of the sweet science. So there's a possibility, even though you're a Hall of Famer and you fought Hall of Famers, even though you a Hall of Famer, you fought Hall of Famers, and even though that doesn't mean that you know everything when it comes to the sweet science. True. Of course, I'm being facetious. Shout out to Ricky. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, I get it, but that means he trained to put on a stinker. Yeah, he trained like that. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this Coach Eddie 2 times.
Coach Eddie, talk to me.
All right, brother. Now, you heard Caleb Plant talking about the level of discipline that it took to pull that type of game plan off. How you had to concentrate.
Yeah.
And the difficulty of that. Now, just imagine you being William Scholl, knowing that Turkey Al-Sheikh got your whole family hostage. You got to go in there and beat Canelo, but don't beat him up too bad because he told you not to mistreat the man in the locker room. So you got to keep the fight halfway close, not get knocked out, and still worry about your family being held hostage by Turkey Al-Sheikh because he already told you don't mess up the plan. We got plans. Now, that's difficult. But in other words, to hold the face of boxer to 158 punches. William Scholl put on such a stellar performance that he actually held Canelo to 158 punches. Canelo was confused. He couldn't get all. William Scholl had him befuddled. And just the level of discipline knowing that William Scholl knew he had an inferior boxer in front of him that he could easily take out, but had to hold himself back to keep from destroying this man. That's difficult.
Hey man, look here, man. Hey man, if you say so, you know, I
gonna push it there, you Coach.
Hey, I didn't look at it that way. So Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, I got your family. Have you ever heard of the camel ride? No, sir, Turkey Al-Sheikh. I haven't heard of that. Well, I have your family, on the camel right now, and at any given time, we're gonna slap the camels and let them walk your family into the desert, while their wrists are tied up, until the camel gets tired, on a hot summer day when it's 125 degrees outside in the desert. So if you want to see your family again, I would advise you not to win this fight.
Thanks.
Shout out to Coach Eddie. Hey, listen, we have plans. Brother, we have plans, brother, we have plans. We don't know who you is. I never heard you before, but that's okay. brother. You know, Canelo, we have big plans for him and Crawford, and I just, you miss your family, right? Miss family? Yeah, Canelo, yes, Turkey, I miss my family. Okay, cool. We got the camel back there. You know, Abdul, come here, Abdul. You know, salam alaikum. Yes, walaikum salam, His Excellency. Make sure that William Scott's family is taken care of. He says he gets the idea, but remember the backup plan: the Campbell Desert, duct tape, buzzards flying in the sky, no water. Okay, yes, sir. And then so that's what Coach Eddie said. Coach Eddie saying it was a conspiracy. Timothy Bradley scandalizing. Was ready. Hey, he don't see Tim don't understand the sweet science. See, y'all don't understand. See, you know, back in the old days when Tim was boxing, they didn't do the sweet science. You know what I mean? Back in the old days, not too long ago, when Timothy Bradley was boxing, they didn't do the sweet science. So he wouldn't understand that. You know, he wouldn't understand what he saw. You get what I'm saying? I know he's a Hall of Famer and all that stuff there, but that's neither here nor there. Even Hall of Famers get it wrong sometimes. Caller, what's your name? You calling from?
What's up, Coach? Derek from Florida.
Derek, talk to me.
You hear me, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I guess somebody forgot to tell Rolly that he part of the plan too, huh? Somebody forgot to tell Rolly that Ryan and Devin got the little fight. I guess nobody ain't told him that. So that shit was out the window. So I see what last call was talking about. So I see what Coach Eddie, I see what he was talking about. So they told Will Cole, he listened though, but Rolly didn't listen. He didn't give a fuck. He said, man, I'm gonna go out there and focus on some plans though. He like, fuck that shit. He said they can fight after. He did his ass. Yeah, I can fight after. So Big Ball, Coach, Big Ball ain't got to hear that shit. You know, he come from stomp. Big Ball ain't got to hear that bullshit. So yeah, that's my call.
Somebody said, yeah, it was Rocco Sacco back then. I said, y'all couldn't have watched no fights. Y'all couldn't have watched no fights from back then, bro. That make it seem like all of the fights back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. With just hit me, okay, I hit you, hit me, come on, I hit you, bro. They make it seem like there was no science at all to boxing back then, bro. If you study Georgie Benton, if you look at Floyd, matter of fact, let me do this. This. You know, I hate doing this, but you know what? I don't hate. I love doing. Let me do this right quick, man. This is too easy. This is too easy, fam. Like. You know, let me see, can I find my man George? What Georgie Benton at? See, can I find Georgie Benton? Y'all don't, James Tony, you know what I mean? Like, these dudes be, you get what I'm saying? That nigga see, them niggas had science. Doggone, even the B-Hop, that nigga seemed like dudes just standing there, hit me, I hit you, hit me, I hit you. Rock'em, man, come on, y'all been listening to too much. See, that what Bill Haney be fooling y'all at right there. Y'all, that's one thing. That's one thing. Now, I want y'all to see this here. This one of my favorite fighters. I be watching a lot of old shit too. This Georgie Benton right here. His back is on the ropes. What do you see? See that? See that? You see it? Yeah, you see how he rolling, slipping, blocking, ducking under, rolling, catching with the shoulders. Like which fighter that y'all look up to? Which fighter that y'all look up to was doing that in the modern era? Couldn't even hit him. Couldn't even really hit him. You get what I'm saying? I didn't even want to pull up a Ezra Charles. I didn't even want to pull up a Willie Pep. A Ray Robinson. Like, they listen. When I be hearing these dudes talking about Rock'em Sock'em, I say, yeah, they've been listening to too much Bill Haney. They listening to Bill Haney. That Bill Haney is the one putting that out there. Because Bill Haney is saying, anything that's outside of the narrative that he's pushing, and I get it. I want to try to like, bro, go look at Pretty Boy Floyd. That's why when I sit back and I laugh, look, when I hear what these dudes saying, like, yeah, man, look what, look at Floyd, he did this and did that. I'm like, bro, at 20, when Floyd was 26 years old, that dude was a monster, bro. That dude was a monster. Roberto Duran, that lightweight, he was a mid-range fighter. That dude was a monster. That dude wasn't getting hit like that. That make it seem like, yeah, all the old school niggas, they just sat there, we just punched each other till we fell out. Bullshit. True. You want to see some, matter of fact, let me show you this. Let me show you this. See, I told y'all, you ain't gonna see no old, when you look at the old fight film, and shout out RIP to Roger Mayweather. Roger Mayweather popularized this with his nephew, Floyd Mayweather. But when y'all see that old fancy, pretty pad work, them old school trainers wasn't doing that. Them old school trainers wasn't doing that bullshit. That shit don't teach you fundamentals. All that pretty shit. All that pity patting on the pads. Pity pat looking pretty. Round the back. Round the world. On the side. Up high. Down low. You know what I mean? Do the Tootsie Roll with it. Butterfly. Cabbage patch. You know what I mean? 360 spin hit. Punch around the back. You get like, bro, what? Hey, listen. These young niggas think that's what it is. Let me show y'all this. This Georgie Benton right here. Georgie Benton is this guy in the white, the trainer. And he's teaching Mildred Taylor, one of my favorite fighters, Mildred Taylor, defensive moves and counter-punching moves. Catch with the shoulder, block, and then he can come back and throw. Pop. You make your offense off your defense and vice versa. He already know what they expect, what should come next. When I throw this is what should come. Pop. Now, when he did that, he could have came back with a right hand. He see, block, come back and they call it the pull. He blocked with the shoulder, and he gonna come back and throw. And he can throw the right hand if he chooses to. Block that left hook. You get what I'm saying? That's Georgie Benton. He wasn't doing all that. They teaching fundamentals. They wasn't doing all that pretty shit. They wasn't doing all that pretty shit. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, man, see, Floyd and Ford with the map, man, get bullshit. Y'all niggas don't, they wasn't doing all of that. We can look at some Eddie Futch. We can look at some, matter of fact, let's look up my main man, Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart be right there in the ring with him. He getting to work out with his fighter. Where Emmanuel Stewart at? Emmanuel Stewart right there getting to work out with his fighter. He right there with Tommy Hearns. He right there, listen, he right there with any fighter he worked with. You get what I'm saying? This another one right here. Lights out. This another one right here. He did not get hit. Now he did a lot of sparring. He did a lot of sparring now. Right there, you see, did that to Holyfield. Now this what Rod Jones say. He said now this is y'all can't hear it, but man, listen, but that dude right there, bro, and you can't define how great a fighter is or was by losses. You can't say, oh, I ain't never lost, so that make me better than everybody because I ain't never lost. Bullshit. You get what I'm saying? That means I was better than anybody that came before me because I never lost. Nah, bullshit. Title fights, non-title fights. 8-ounce gloves, 15 rounds, same day weigh-ins. Nah, you're not better than nigga, man, shit. You get what I'm saying? What fighter today can go 15 rounds the same day weigh-in with 8-ounce gloves? Y'all know Pernell, I love Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker mid-range, you ain't gonna hit him. I ain't gotta fight you on the outside not to get hit. I don't have to dance around the ring on the outside not to get hit. They say, well, Ali danced around the ring. He did. Ali danced around the ring. But Ali was letting his hands go. Ali, and guess what? Hold on. Wait. Nigga be talking about something. Lord. Boy, I destroy these niggas on this. Hold on. Yeah, man, Ali, even Ali danced around the ring. I said, yeah, but Ali was letting his hands go. He would destroy niggas. And guess what? When the fight came to the inside, Ali knew how to fight on the inside. He would absorb the punishment. Once he get a little space, sneak a little left hook, right cross. He loved that right cross, pull counter. Ali used to do the pull counter. Right cross. He had bite down when needed be. You get what I'm saying? It ain't like he was there move around the ring. He'll move around the ring and he was letting his hands go. He was throwing them motherfuckers. And he'll get mid-range and throw. He'll get mid-range, make it look like you got a punch, and when you throw, he get his head off the line and come back with the counter over the top. You got to be in striking distance to do that. Now, when I say, I'm definitely talking about the Ali from the 60s. The 70s Ali, he wasn't in his prime anymore. That was old Ali. The one in the 60s, that was the prime Ali. Cassius Clay going into Ali. And then the Ali from the 70s, that was legendary Ali. Legendary Ali is the one from the 70s. What made him legendary? He had some legendary fights. Ken Norton, Frazier, George Foreman, Ron Lyle, Ernie Shavers. Man, nigga, please. Spinks. Caller, what's the name? Where you calling from?
I mean, Richie from Boca.
Richie from Boca, talk to me.
I got a couple things. As far as the sweet signs go, in modern day history, the closest thing we know to that is Floyd. And I think before that, we would go Roy Jones. You understand what I'm saying? I think Floyd is the closest example to the actual sweet science and not running around, because Floyd will get up in there and hit you. He had the Philly shell. He had certain ways to duck and move and, deter from your punches. You know what I'm saying? Now they think the sweet science is, I got a bigger name than you, so you got to beat me. I could just run around. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't the sweet science. And I think Roy Jones used to do it well too. You know what I'm saying? He'll get in there and he'll go toe to toe with you, but you couldn't hit him. You know what I'm saying? It was, they not gonna know all them other examples that you was giving. A lot of these listeners might be a little bit too young for that.
Yeah.
And my next thing is, I started watching this boxing when it was 15 rounds too. These dudes can't even last 8 rounds right now. I'm talking about, it used to be 15 rounds. Honestly, I don't even know when they changed it. I'm like, when the fuck it started being 12 rounds? I used to watch it with my grandpa, and that used to be 15 rounds. You feel what I'm saying? So now these cats nowadays, I don't want to say that they spoiled and shit like that, but they couldn't compete with the worst fighter of the you know what I'm saying, the old days, just on some G shit. And the third thing is, Turk, the same way he told what's his name? Hey man, I got some other business with Canelo, so you better not do your thing. He told Rolly the same shit. Rolly just sold off. Rolly don't care.
Rolly don't care.
You feel me? Rolly said that he tried to sabotage him. He didn't have a hotel room when he landed in New York. His gloves didn't make it, all types of shit, and he didn't complain about it or nothing. He still went there and fought. They was trying to throw him off the whole night. You feel what I'm saying? He told him like, hey, look, don't get in there and beat Ryan ass, because I got the announcement to make after this shit, the same way he did with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? But Rolly was like, you know what? I don't care about that shit. And he still went in there and won. The reason why I think, not the reason, but one of the reasons why I think Ryan lost is because Turk told him, I got you. Don't worry about it. Just go in there and, he's not going to beat you. I already made that clear to him. You know what I'm saying? And Ryan like, all right, bet. Went out there and got his dog ass knocked out. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that agreement was told to to Rolly too. Like, hey, I got business with Ryan. Just get out here and put on a good show, but don't do too much. And Rolly was like, yeah, okay. And went out there and demolished, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think they don't know too much about the sweet science like how they say they do. And shout out to Bill Haney. He's a great promoter and shit like that. But what Devin did was he ran. You know what I'm saying? Devin could have got in there and physically beat that dude. Like this is the real shit.
You You got to put hands and foot on Jose Ramirez. Yeah, he could have did that. He could have did that easy. He could have did to Jose Ramirez what he did to Regis Prograis, even though Jose Ramirez is taller than Regis Prograis. But yeah, he was way more skilled than that guy that night.
Man, listen, it was to the point I rewatched the fight. As soon as the bell rung, Devin started running. I'm like, what the hell? And the announcers was making it seem like his shoe was messed up, which it was. So I was like, oh, he ran the first round because his shoe was messed up. They fixed his shoe. He did the same thing the rest of the round. I'm like, oh, what the hell? You know, because his shoe was not laced up correctly or some shit like that. So I thought that's why Devin Haney was running the first round, because his shoe was about to come off or something. But that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to secure a victory. He went in there with the Canelo mindset of, you got to beat me, I don't got to beat you. But that's my call, Coach.
All right, salute, fam. Yeah, see what? Have you guys ever heard of the saying "swimming not get wet"? Swimming and not get wet is being close enough to the water, but the water doesn't touch you. You don't get wet. You don't drown. None of that stuff there, right? You in the water, but you ain't getting wet. Bro, the most frustrating thing there is. Hey, shout out to Miss Sheila from A-Style. The most frustrating thing it is to have a guy that's in range, that's in striking distance. He's in striking distance. I can hit him. But when you swing, that motherfucker ain't there. You missed that punch by inches. He caught it. And matter of fact, let me show you something. I'm gonna show you. Damn, what fight that was? Let me see, can I find him? I'm gonna show you an Andre Ward clip. Shout out to Timothy Bradley. Hey, okay. Dropping that half for bam, double your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Timothy Bradley said, well, shout out to Tim. He said that's the sweet science, coach. He said every move has a purpose. Dev was doing intervals. 3 minutes at a time without throwing a punch. How about setting up lateral traps off the movement, Bill? Now, I will say this. When we watched that fight, I called that fight. Do you guys remember what I was saying? I say 60 seconds have gone by in this fight, and Devin Haney hasn't thrown a punch yet. 70 seconds have gone by. I have the video. Man, Jose Ramirez, him and Jose ain't landed a punch, and Devin ain't thrown. Like literally. There was rounds in that fight. I'm like, how do you score this shit? There was rounds in that fight. A minute will go by and nobody threw a punch. Nobody. There were rounds in that fight. A minute and 20 seconds go by. A minute and 10 seconds go by. Not a round, not a punch thrown. That's sweet. And I was told that was sweet science. True. Literally. Did you get what I'm saying?
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Let me show y'all something. Let me pull up an Andre Ward. Where Andre Ward at? Where's Andre Ward? Let me pull up Andre Ward. I gotta do that. I gotta pull up Dre. This is a good one. I have to pull up Dre. Cause this here was one of my favorite. Hold on. This was one of my favorite fights by Ward because of this move right here. Hold on. I gotta find this here, man. Hold on. I have to find this right here. This it right here. Lord have mercy. I want y'all to see this here. You talking about sweet science? Okay, let's go. This is Andre Ward. This is like a catch counters, catch and shoot, whatever, right? That's what they call it. Let's go. Watch this. Now Andre Ward is mid-range. He's in range to get hit. He's in harm's way. Look at his eyes. He gave the guy the shoulder. He gave him the shoulder. Left his head right there on the line to give this guy a sense. I think this was Barrera he fought. To give him a sense of security, give him a sense of my target is in front of me. I need him to throw. This is called you also call this. I call this a trap counter as well. He's setting the trap. He's ready to counter. He catches. Watch this. Now he understands the mission. He can't defend this. What's coming back at him? I'm a block and punch with the same hand. My defense has created offense for me. I say this over here all the time. Now, Andre Ward got hit in the body. He got hit in the body with a right hook, but he landed a straight right on his own, like a right cross, so to speak. Let's go. And then he knew, look at that. Then he knew what was coming. He landed the right hook to the body, but he's coming back with the left hook. So he had his hand right there to block. And then he come back and he landed the left hook of his own. Watch this. I'm going to bait this motherfucker. Hop catch. Come right back. Hack up. Lord, he hit me in the body. I stuck it up. Catch the left hook he finna throw. I caught that on the neck. I'm finna come back with mine. Bam. Bro, like that. That's sweet science. That's sweet science as well. That's sweet science as well. You could be right there and catch that dude. You can pick his shot off. You can pick his shot off right there. Hit it, not get hit. Do you get what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. 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 Let's go. Let's do this right here. Stop. Bam. Well, I watched this. I think this was Barrera he fought. Bam. He took that body shot, locked the hook a little, caught it, and he come right back. Bro, he ain't getting hit with no kill shot. He's not getting hit with no kill shot, bro. Like, fam, you get what I'm saying? Like, it take nuts to do this. It take nuts to be able to do that. Floyd Mayweather used to do that. Pretty Boy Floyd and Money May. Money May did that too. Pretty Boy and Money May did that. Lights out, same thing. Pernell Whitaker, same thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So, there's many different ways to skin a cat. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? So, I get it. Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Wow. What's up, Coach?
Jared, talk to me, fam.
I'm so glad to hear you say what you're saying. I'm not trying to hear this bullshit. I don't give a crap if it's from Caleb Plant or who it's from. No. Just flat out no. Look no further than a Floyd Mayweather or a Pernell Whitaker or Salvador Sanchez. You go watch Pernell Whitaker's fight. Most of the time he fought on his front foot. He was attacking mostly, even though he was slippery as shit. This guy was in there to get his punches off, and that's the main criteria in boxing. Simple bottom line, and I've been saying it for the longest time, is if you are sacrificing your defense, your offense rather, for defense, that's not boxing. Give a fuck what Caleb Plant said. He's saying that in case he's got to run from somebody in the near future and set up his own act. And I like Caleb Plant, what I've seen from Caleb is what he does is box. Stays in the pocket. Even against Benavidez, he was staying in position to land his own punches. If you take yourself out of position, that's not boxing. I don't care if it's Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, who it is. So kudos to you for shining light on that, man, because you got too many people out here that are fans of a fighter, and they're willing to overlook a simple thing, man. Running is running. We don't have to make it too complicated. When you see it, you know what you're seeing. You know what you're seeing. And when these top fighters that are very athletic guys, when they decide they want to run and they just want to survive, more times than not, they can do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You make a point. Shout out to Jerry, man. Be more stand up. You make a point, Jerry. If they want to survive, if that's for the game plan, then so be it. Okay, so people talk about, Floyd Mayweather. See, they don't know nothing about Floyd Mayweather. They don't know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd. This is Floyd Mayweather at 26 years old, fighting Diego Corrales. Do you want to see how Floyd Mayweather was fighting at 26 years old? Pretty Boy Floyd, here you go. Bap, right there, mid-range. Left hook. Dropped him. Hap, left hook. Look how aggressive Floyd Mayweather was. Look at him. When he had a man hurt, he went for the kill. Right there, mid-range. He was too quick for Diego Corrales. Check left hook. Walked him into it. You see what I'm saying? Straight right hand. Left hook, dropped him. See, this is the thing. When I hear people talk about, man, see Floyd. See, you don't know about Floyd. Floyd, that's a sweet science. They don't talk about that Floyd. They don't talk about their Floyd. Do you notice that? They know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd. They know nothing about Pretty Boy. Nothing. They know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd. Look at how old Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo. Look at how old, hold on. Let's do this. Y'all talk, man. See, they be talking about, man, all Floyd did was running, this and that. Okay, this and fight Canelo. Y'all see where Floyd is at? Floyd right there. Close. Canelo threw a right cross. Floyd ducked up under it. And he ducked the left hook. And another right cross. And he's right there. Look where his legs is at. He wasn't running. Look at him. So when they talk about, man, see when these niggas want to, see what these niggas want to do, right? They want to try to hide behind Floyd. That's sweet sign. No. Let's show that this is Money Mayweather. This is Money Mayweather. This is Money Mayweather who fought Canelo. This Money Mayweather. Okay, you want to see, y'all want to talk about Floyd? Let's talk about Floyd. Look where he at. Right there. Ooh, Lord, look at that right there. He did not get hit. Shoulder roll, and he stepped right back to him. Block with the shoulder, catch with the hand. Look at that, bap. See, look at that. Do you see that? Do you see how he was right there? Let's go back. Do it again. Look at Floyd foot placement. Talking about, man, y'all when y'all want to compare Devin Haney to Floyd, compare this. Compare that right there. Canelo can't hit him. Can't hit him. He right there. And he ain't doing no running. Can't cut him with a check left hook. Look at that. Pull counter. Watch this. Catch with the shoulder. Come back. Bap. Just like that. Look at that. He right there. See, you can make a man miss right there. Look at that. You can make a miss right there. See, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about that at all. Do you notice that? I showed you a version of Floyd Mayweather at 30-something years old, 37 or 38 when he fought Canelo, and I showed you a version of Floyd Mayweather at 26 when he fought Diego Corrales. He right there. Being close to your opponent don't make it a rock'em sock'em fight. I just showed you could be right there and that dude still can't hit you if you Floyd Mayweather. I'm just saying. If you Floyd Mayweather, that's what it's gonna be. You know what this guy do? You keep trolling. I'm gonna time you out. Let me put you on timeout. You've been trolling for a minute. I'm gonna time you out for 5 minutes. You just been trolling, saying the same shit over and over and over and over and over. Damn, I mean, listen, tell me you want to suck Canelo dick without telling me you want to suck his dick. Damn, man, take your bitch ass on somewhere. Put you on timeout for now. You know what I mean? You come back dick sucking again, I'm blocking you. Come drinking ass fuck boy. Anyways, now I just showed you that. Again, I'll body any one of these niggas on this shit. I'll body any one of them. Okay, you want to compare them? Okay, let's pull Floyd up then. Let's pull him up. Let's pull Floyd up. Whatever fighter you want to compare to him, who you say the next Floyd, okay, let's pull him up then. Let's pull him up. I can do this all day. I can show you a plethora of fighters, especially Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd wasn't nothing to mess with. Money Mayweather will be right there. You see how he fought Canelo, and guess what? Canelo couldn't touch him. So don't tell me I don't know what the sweet science is. I know what the sweet science is. You don't know what the sweet science is. True. No, I know what the sweet science is. And I know what running is. I know what the sweet science is, and I know what running is. That's why don't do no Floyd Mayweather comparisons. It's a bad comparison. When you do a Floyd Mayweather comparison, it encompasses everything. If you want to go fight for fight, we can go fight for fight. We can match up your fighter's first fight versus Floyd's first fight. We can start wherever you want to start at. And we can go fight for fight. Hell, matter of fact, I'll do you a favor. I won't even use Pretty Boy Floyd. Whatever argument you want to make to your fighter who you want to compare to Floyd Mayweather, I won't even use Pretty Boy Floyd. I'll do you a favor. True. I'll do you a favor. I won't even use Pretty Boy Floyd. Because using Pretty Boy Floyd is unfair. It's unfair to you. I won't even use Pretty Boy Floyd. I just use Money Mayweather. See, they want to talk about Floyd all the time. See, they want to talk about, yeah, man, Shakur Stevenson, yeah, man, he doing the sweet side like Floyd. The art of boxing is hit and not get hit. Yeah, but okay, that is the art of boxing, to hit and not get hit. But don't tell me the way that you go about doing is the only way. And then say Floyd did it. Oh, Floyd did it? Okay, which fight you want to talk about? Maybe you could say him. Maybe him and Robert the Ghost. I might give you that. If that's what you want, I might give you that one. Give me some more fights. Give me some more. And again, I'm not going to use Pretty Boy Floyd, because Pretty Boy Floyd destroyed any one of these niggas you compare to him. Money Mayweather destroyed any one of these niggas you compare to him, to be fair. He really shitting on him. I'm really shitting on him. But I'm just saying, but Money May body him too. Like, this is too easy. Too easy. It's too easy, fam. Too easy. Like, they make it seem like, yeah. They make it seem like, if you standing in the pocket, that's rock'em sock'em. If you standing in the pocket, that rock'em sock'em. You know what I mean? Yeah, DC, that ain't the sweet side. You don't know about the sweet side. Oh, I don't know about the sweet sides? Okay, well, what's this? Yeah, I don't know about the sweet sides. What's this? This is James Tony versus Ryan Barkley. See that? Bap, right there. He right there. Two more uppercuts. Bap, another one. You get what I'm saying? He right there. Eyes open, looking for openings. Body shot. I hurt him right there. That body shot hurt him. Hold on. I got some more. I ain't finished. Here you go, right here. Combo right there. Look at that. Pop. Look at that. I ran Barkley, missed, and he turned him. I ran Barkley, missed, and he turned him. Right hook. Look at that. Threw a right hook and missed. You get what I'm saying? Right there. Sweet science. Look at that, miss, make a miss, pivot, turn him. You know what I mean? He right down the ropes, and then he turned him. Then guess what? James turned defense into offense. He turned the perceived. See how he stepped around? See how he stepped around him? Strong side step around too. Stepped around the strong side. The power hand. You get what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, yeah, man. So you don't know nothing. No, man, you don't know nothing about. You don't know nothing about. You know what I mean? Listen, okay. If you want to go Ray Leonard, we can go Ray Leonard. We can go Ray Leonard. And we can go. My other favorite fight. We can go Mike McCallum. Oh, listen. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's do this here. Let's do this. Yeah. We can go Mike McCallum. Shit, nigga, you ain't said nothing. We go Mike McCallum, fam. We can do that. The first fight. Because they fought 3 times. They fought 3 times. Classes in session. These niggas holler about sweet science. Now, this is James Toney, a young James Toney. I think this 1990. I forgot what year this was. But this the first fight. And Mike McCallum. I want to say 91. Look, you see what I'm saying? Why this? Look at that. Mike McCallum miss. James Toney miss. Missed the right hook. Mike McCallum missed the right uppercut. James Toney landed left hook to the body. He going for a headshot after this. Mike McCallum coming with the left hook. He landed it. And that's that. But look how many shots was missed. Look how close they was. James Toney landed that jab. He cooked him with a right cross. Mike McCallum backed up a little bit, came with a straight left. Threw a right cross. James Toney anticipated, rolled under it. He's looking to come back with a left hook. He had to roll back that way because he didn't like what he saw. He's looking for an opening shot. Mike McCallum threw the left hook. Left uppercut, kind of bolo punch like. James Toney threw the right cross, but it got blocked with the shoulder. Mike, you get what I'm saying? Like that's swimming and not getting wet right there, baby. That's swimming and not getting wet right there. This is showing effort. I ain't gonna lie, boy. Mike McCallum, one of my favorite fighters of all time. Him and doggone James Toney. Mike McCallum and James Toney, fam. Matter of fact, he can go right here. Now this dude breaking it down. Y'all can't hear nothing. But you know what I mean? Like everything for a pro looking at now. James Toney, look at the vision. He's looking. He got the weight on his back leg a little bit so he can maneuver if need be. Mike McCallum looking. He looking to throw that right hand down. That's what James Toney is expecting. The right cross. And he threw it. James Toney expected it. Now you see right there? You see right there? Now you notice how close they is, but ain't nobody grabbing, ain't nobody holding. That's why I tell y'all be talking about these slick black fighters. These niggas, I don't see no slick black fighters right now. Not like this. I don't see them. Where they at? I mean, Cool Boy Steph. I would consider Cool Boy Steph that. I would definitely consider Cool Boy Steph that. And Mr. Gary Russell Jr. But he's not boxing no more, so. Right there, Mike McCallum. Goddamn James Toney. Man, listen, bro. Bro, like you got it. Y'all, listen, these niggas gotta do some studying, dog. True. These niggas gotta do some studying. Let's see. Yeah, these niggas gotta do some studying, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas talking about, like, nah, man, let me see. I don't know. Something happened with that. Yeah, motherfucker be trying to tell me. I mean, I don't be trying to hear that shit. Not me. Somebody sent the cash app. I can't see it, fam. If you sent the cash app, I can't see it for some reason. Something wrong. I read that one. You said Benavidez. Jamie said Benavidez fought in the pocket. Can't hit him. Okay. No, not Benavidez. You said Benitez. He said Wilfred Benitez fought in the pocket. Can't hit him. That's what Jamie said. Yeah, so you get what I'm saying? I be sitting back, man. I don't be trying to hear that shit. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I don't be trying to hear that shit, man. They be trying to tell me about it. Yeah, I only been watching boxing for 40 years. I don't know what I'm looking at. Now you don't know what you looking like, dog. You've been watching it for about a little over 40 years. You don't know what you looking at, dog. You don't know what it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking at. Matter of fact, hell, I don't even want to show you goddamn Salvador Sanchez. I don't even want to show you Salvador Sanchez. And we don't even want to go there. Like, again, when I hear these dudes talk, fam, they be saying some of the dumbest shit. Yeah, man, them old niggas, they rock 'em, sock 'em. That's how I know you ain't no old school boxing fan. You do not know what you're talking about. I know that. Soon as I hear one of these dumbass niggas say that shit, I say these niggas been listening to Bill Haney too much. And shout out to Bill, but I think they take that and run with it. Yeah, because they listen, they use dumbass talking point. Yeah, it's about hitting and not getting hit. Yeah, you're right. I just showed you a whole bunch of examples of hitting and not getting hit. Yeah, man, doggone Floyd. See where he is now. Yeah, man, see, we taking the Floyd green print. We taking what Floyd did. Floyd said it's a sweet science. It's about hitting and not getting hit. Okay, I just showed you some Floyd videos. Oh, no, hold on, wait a minute now. Matter of fact, we won't even use Pretty Boy Floyd. As I said before, listen, bring whatever fighter you want to bring up, who y'all comparing the Floyd Mayweather. I won't even use Pretty Boy Floyd. Make it light on yourself. I won't use Pretty Boy Floyd. We'll just use Money Mayweather. We'll just use Money Mayweather. That's what we'll use. You get what I'm saying? Like literally. Swimming and not getting wet. True. Hey, shout out to Sheila from Cali. Sheila, what's going on? Shout out to JC in the building. CJ from the 504. Hey, CJ from the 504. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all go. Yeah, you did good. CJ from the 504. What's happening, family? So we got him out of here. Yeah, he out here. He a done dollar. You done. Shout out to Keith's Bulldogs. I see a couple of trolls. They gone though. No Cap Entertainment. What's happening, man? I'm telling you, man, I sit back and look at these sap suckers. I'm like, man, I'm trying to tell you, bro. He say, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Shout out to Marcus King. Yeah, man. Let's see. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Tough Glove, coach.
Tough Glove. Talk to me.
We'll go with you, man. Listen, man. This generation, man. Salute to the fan, by the way. This whole boxing generation, this new wave fan base, man, they not boxing fans, right? They at least not diehard boxing fans. They boxer fans. You know what I mean? And you know for a fact, I'm a Devin Haney fan. I ride with Devin Haney, right? And I've defended him many times, but there's nothing wrong with holding one of your favorite fighters accountable. That last fight he had, man, he was running. Point blank period. All that shit Caleb Plant talking about it's not his job to entertain the fans. Then how do you expect to build your fan base if it ain't your job to entertain the fans? I'm so glad that you brought up all of those clips, because a lot of these people that's talking about you don't know nothing about the sweet science and like your eyes is lying to you, they didn't even look at old school boxing fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, we the type of people that we look at the old school fights from back in the 40s, and we can find it on video, and we remember the golden age of boxing and watching it in the 90s and the 80s. A whole different tone, like Jamie said on his catch out, right? Like Wilfred Benitez. Sugar Ray Leonard said he never missed more punch in a fight in his life than fighting Wilfred Benitez. You know what I'm saying? So it was about sweet people that could stand it in the pocket, not being hit while you was right there within range. I thought that's what always slick black fighting meant to me.
That is slick black fighting. That's what slick black fighting is.
Right.
You right there, because the thing is, you right there in the line of, it's like the Matrix. You know, Agent Smith is shooting bullets at you and you dodging all of the bullets. You're right there in striking distance, but he can't hit you.
Exactly. And it was that was the sweet science. They almost twisting what the sweet science was really about. I love that, like, I don't like Rock'em Sock'em is exciting. I love that too. But what is
Rock'em Sock'em? What is that?
Rock'em Sock'em is when you really, to be honest with you, Rock'em Sock'em is when two fighters don't really have any defensive capabilities, or it's not highlighted. And they're their fights, and they just all about power and volume. And they stand there and see, well, it's basically a battle of nutrition, right? Like who can just last the longest until one just can't take it no more. You know, back and forth. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me, I hit you. And who the toughest? That's usually Rock'em Sock'em. But the sweet science is it was like high speed, violent chess.
Yeah. High speed violent test. Yeah, high speed violent test. Yeah, I get that. You're on the time clock. You're on the clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you had to use you on the clock, and you had to use your mind. You could see them thinking in there, and you could see them like thinking 2 steps ahead. And sometimes they swing and they miss, and sometimes they get hit, or they got to take one to get one. Or Roy Jones was a perfect example of that. You know what I'm saying? I love.
The reason why I asked you about what is Rock'em Sock'em, I wanted to hear you say what the definition was, because I know what it is. Like, they think it's either sweet science is I'm on the outside running on the perimeter of the ring, or Rock'em Sock'em, I'm standing right there. We trade in punches to see who can to get what it takes. What about? But so they make it seem like if you're not doing an extreme left, you're doing an extreme right. No, I just showed you examples of not doing extreme left or extreme right. I showed you examples of slick black boxing, sitting right there in the pocket and being in the position to strike your opponent, but he can't hit you, and you right there in front of him. I just showed you an example. Right. It doesn't have to be extreme left, running around the ring, hollering about sweet science, or extreme right. We just gonna sit here and trade punches like Rocky and Rocky Balboa and Mr. T. No, that's not it. What's it is the sweet spot right there in the middle.
Yeah, like you stand there, you still within range to get your offense off and everything. And I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as Shakur Stevenson, up until that Edwin De La Santos fight, I would give him the sweet science criteria, because that was one of the things that drew me to liking Shakur in the first place, was his immaculate control, the distance. But and when he fought Nakatila, and then when he fought Edwin De La Santos, and then he actually like kind of got out of that and was more like getting out of range. But even with Nakatila, he picked it back up and dropped Nakatila. But Shakur Stevenson was real good at making you just miss so he could cut back with his counter. It's just that he didn't really have enough power to discourage his opponent like that. You know what I mean? So, and with Edwin De La Santos, we all saw what happened with that. So I'm not really going to say or stand on that hill with you that Shakur Stevenson is a runner or anything like that. I think Shakur Stevenson is somebody who can be considered like somebody who's part of the sweet science crowd, right? But as far as what Devin Haney did, right? Because I thought Devin Haney was always a great technical fighter. I never even really considered him the slick fighter because he's taking punches, right? He's gotten caught, but he's just really technical and offensively and defensively minded. But that last fight, I can't know. It seemed to me like he was fighting scared. That's what it looked like to me. And I'm a Devin Haney fan. And I'm just keeping it 100, right? But then when I hear the people that support Devin Haney, when I check out their channels, they talk about, they're like, oh, these guys just want him to stand there and take punches and everything like that. And it's like, no, it's not that we want him to stand there and take punches. We want him to be, also in control of his offense just as much as his defense. Because that was like, what was the punch output in that fight? It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I wanted to say, Coach. I just wanted to get on here and give my little 2 cents on it. Peace out to you and the fam.
Salute, fam. Hey, shout out to man, Tough Glove Boss in New York. Stand up. Hey, shout out to Ricky Tiki. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He say Tank got some pretty great counters as well. The Rolly 1 fight. Yeah, he won't roll it. Yeah, Tank won't roll it right into that shot. Rolly Romero was reaching with the backhand, and he did it 3 times in a row. And so he did it 3 times in a row. He was reaching with the backhand. He'll shoot the jab, reach with the backhand. And Tank Davis was so aware of what was going on, and Rolly not having a high ring IQ at that time, you know, with against Tank. When Tank knew, okay, as soon as my back touched the rope, he's gonna think that he can reach and catch me with the backhand. Once he reaches with that backhand, I'ma slip it. I'ma slip to my right, get my head off the line, and shoot the left hook, and shoot the straight left right down the pipe. And by Rolly reaching with the backhand, leading with his head, he walked right into the left hook. And Tank slipped it, bam, ran him into it, and got out of the way. Dropped him. Now, Rolly beat the count. He did get up, but the referee looked at him, went to counting. Rolly staggered a little bit, and he waved it off. But yeah, he walked him right into that shot. He walked him right into that shot. You know what I mean? So, so you got many different variations of the sweet science, but you can't call everything that a fighter does is a slick black fighter. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Keith's Bulldogs. Hey, okay. We're dropping that half for, damn, Hundo on your boy. Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't call everything ain't, just because he black don't mean he's slick. You get what I'm saying? He's just a black fighter. And he's displaying his variation of the sweet science, whatever the case may be. I'm like, my definition, from what I see, from my years of watching and studying different styles and looking at doggone, hold on. Looking at the old school train, like one of my favorite trainers was Duval, Lou Duval, Georgie Benton, Eddie Futch, Emmanuel Stewart, Customato, hell, I like Freddie Roach. I like Freddie Roach, and I like Buddy McGirt as well. Robert Garcia is a good trainer as well. Like trainers who teach the fundamentals, who are fundamentally sound. You don't see them doing all that pretty stuff. Matter of fact, let me tell y'all the story. Shout out to Keith. He says, since Timothy Bradley don't want to sponsor us, just sheep. Okay, for sure. Hey, shout out to our sponsor, Keith's Bulldogs, man, dropping that $100.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hey, Buddy McGirt told me a story. I'm in LA, me and Steve Kim. I'm in LA at the the Brick House? I think it was the Brick House gym in LA, or it was another gym. He said, Buddy McGirt told me a story about a fighter who wanted Buddy McGirt to train him under one condition. He said, can you teach me? He asked Buddy McGirt, he said, can you do the hand mitts like how Floyd and Roger Mayweather do it? Buddy McGirt had a perfect answer for him. He said, can you fight like Floyd? The dude wanted to hire Buddy McGirt to be his trainer, but the condition was, I wanted to know, do you know how to do the hand mitt routine? That Floyd and Roger Mayweather do. He say, Buddy McGirt say, can you fight like Floyd? Nigga, if you can't fight like Floyd, then no, I can't do that routine like Floyd and Roger Mayweather. You come like this what they get caught up in. They get caught up in this here. They teaching them fundamentals. They teaching them how to look pretty on the hand mitts. I don't call it what your name you call it from.
It's Rudy Exposure. What's up? Shout out to all you Central Florida guys, man. I wanted to call in and talk specifically about that.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Rudy Exposure, man. Salute, fam.
Hey, yo, check this out. Win, baby, win. I heard a lot of people say that a lot. And I wanted to know and ask a question to you. If Tank Davis don't knock out Lamont Roach and he still gets the victory, is it win, baby, win?
No, it's how you win. It's always how a fighter wins. It doesn't matter who the fighter is or whatever. It's how you win. If you win in a not so spectacular fashion, then it's like, okay, you got the win, but it wasn't to our expectations. You got to understand when someone like a Gervonta Tank Davis, being that the reputation that he has, all fighters are not created equal. Gervonta Davis comes with a level of expectations. So if he doesn't live up to the expectation, and he has to perform every time he step in the ring, because people expect a lot of him. So yeah, he can win. He can win. So, but the object of the game is to get the victory. But
But what's the expectation of Devin Haney if they say he ain't got no power and he's a boxer, what you would say?
That's
Why
a great.
they expecting him to come back from a devastating ass whooping that Ryan Garcia put on him and come back into a fight knowing that Tuggy done put another bag afterwards, and you got you a tailor-made fight there, brother. All you got to do is win, baby, win. I think Tank Davis is in that same situation because if he don't beat Lamont Roach, that's going to mess up the church's money.
So this is the problem with the logic that you have. Let's say you do it that way, and the judges say, you know what? I'm gonna give it to the other guy because he was the aggressor. There are more than one ways to skin the cat. Like you can win, baby, win in an impressive fashion.
So you saying that Tank Davis can outbox Lamont Roach?
I'm saying that whatever Tank Davis need to do in order to put on an impressive performance, that's what he's going to have to do, and vice versa for Lamont Roach. I don't know what Tank Davis will be able to do until the second fight.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, what can Tank do different except for pick up the tempo a little earlier than he did before?
Well, apparently he got to figure out what he can do differently because what he did last time didn't work. So whatever you did last time didn't work, then common sense would be to go back and look at the fight film and say, okay, this is what I did last time. So whatever I did last time, I need to do the opposite of that.
I saw him get his guard manipulated.
Whatever he need to do, we'll find out.
All right, I just wanted to ask that question, man. Appreciate you letting me on.
Yes, sir. Salute, fam. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So, I mean, as related to Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, I mean, there's a lot of different things he probably can do differently. I'm pretty sure that he's training, getting ready for that fight or whenever it's time to do that. That's why you look at fight film. Okay, what is it that I can do differently? Because I didn't like the outcome of my last fight. Well, for one, don't take a knee after getting punched with a jab. 2, don't go in your corner, pause the fight in the middle of the fight, in the middle of the round, and stick your head through the ropes and call Calvin to wipe the sweat off wipe the grease off your face. Those are the 2 things you can do differently. I just gave you 2 right there. 2. Don't take the knee after getting hit with a jab. Don't call the timeout in the middle of the ring, in the middle of the round, and run to your corner and stick your head through the ropes while making contact with your trainer to wipe your face. Those are 2 things he can do differently. True. I just gave you 2. I just gave you 2. And the third thing, somebody just said it in the chat. Trey Hassan. Trey Hassan just said it in the chat. I just gave you 3 things, brother. You said, what can he do differently? This is the third thing. Don't get his hair done. Don't get his hair done days before the fight. Don't get your hair done. Don't put no grease in your hair. That's 3 things he can do differently. Don't take a knee in the middle of the fight. Don't run to the corner. Stick your head through the ropes to get your face wiped. And don't put hair grease in your hair. That's 3 right there. Rude exposure. If you're listening, sir, I just gave you 3 things you can do differently. I gave you 3. Yeah. Shout out to Keith Bulldogs. What you say? The Cardenas said Winky Wright. Yeah, Winky Wright was a bad boy. Winky Wright was a bad boy too. Fought out of the high guard. Yeah, he was a bad boy. Absolutely. I like Winky Wright. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Winky Wright from DC. Shout out to Rude Exposure. Winky Wright from DC. He from DC. You get what I'm saying? He moved to Florida, left DC, moved to Florida. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to La Jessica. She said, but that wasn't the real issue. Shout out to Z Pacino. He said, they robbed Winky Wright. Shout out to the Cardenas. He said, I looked at the fight again. It was a punch Lamont threw before the jab. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I just gave you 3 things. Don't take the knee after getting punched. Don't go to the ring. Stick your head through the ropes, and don't get your hair done getting the hair grease in your hair. That's right there. True. If Tank do those three things, if he do those three things right there, I'm sure that the outcome would be different. Y'all know what time it is, man. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I will, we did this for the hood. AB, where you at, baby boy? Where is AB? Where you at, AB?
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
Yes, sir. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Shout out to Ruben Allen in the building. Ruben Allen is here. Let's give a shout out to all of the super chatters. Shout out to Duncan Carter.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Sean.
Okay.
Shout out to Sean from the Heights.
Hey, okay.
Green Eyes P.
Hey, okay.
Mr. Curtis Robinson.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Boss. Shout out to Boss Latino TV.
Hey, okay.
Big Dog Willie.
Hey, okay.
Mike from Bensonhurst.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Pretty Ricky and the Mavericks. Ricky Dickey.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to the Hall of Famer, the legendary Timothy Bradley.
Hey, okay.
Let's see. Shout out to Keith's Bulldogs.
Hey, okay.
Our sponsor. Let's give our sponsor and all of the super chatters. And shout out to Jamie.
Hey, okay.
And Cash Shoppers. Let's give them a round of applause. Yeah, man, it is. Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I'm trying to tell you, boy, like, it's more than one way to skin a cat. Sometimes like at 26 years old, when Floyd Mayweather had an opponent that ain't had no business being in the ring with him, he treated him like that. As I said before, we can do this Floyd talk all day. We can do this Floyd talk all day. Literally. You get what I'm saying? We can do this Floyd talk all day. This is too easy. And I won't even use Pretty Boy. I won't even use Pretty Boy Floyd. Won't use Pretty Boy Floyd at all. You get what I'm saying? We gotta say all praise due to the Most High, the Most Exalted, the greatest human being on the planet Earth. And I say that sarcastically, and that is the one and only Mr. Al Haymon.
Well, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and saying Al Haymon. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me?
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name,
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Yeah, man, it is. Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Shout out to everybody in the Chizat. Hold on, let me get it like this here. Let me see what's up. Y'all bear. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see can I get that. Hold on. Y'all bear with me one moment. Bear with the old boy one moment. All right, here we go. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's give everybody a shout out. Shout out to Timothy Bradley.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Jamie from New York.
Hey, okay.
Mark will say Bill Haney so cold at keeping attention on Devin. Facts. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's all about. Social media is all about attention. That's what it's all about. If you can get your targeted audience's attention, that's what it's all about. He does a great job at that. He's a master at that.
Hey, okay.
He's a master at that. Keep everybody talking about his son, and he's brilliant at that. I can't take nothing from him on that. Shout out to the Natural.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Summer in November.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Mr. Tomato Can.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Mika Lover.
Hey, okay.
Dr. Paul Evans.
Hey, okay.
JC in the building.
Hey, okay.
Trey Hassan.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Big Old Dog.
Hey, okay.
Dr. Paul Evans.
Hey, okay.
Sheila from Cali.
Hey, okay.
Miss Black Panther.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to La Jessica.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Jamie from New York.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to JC.
Hey, okay.
Kendall Price.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Mark Will in the building.
Hey, okay.
Mr. Kenneth Johnson.
Hey, okay.
School of X-Man.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Justin Watson.
Hey, okay.
It is what it is. Hold on. What's somebody say? What somebody say? Shout out to Sheila. What'd she say? Sheila say, what you said? What's Sheila at? Oh, Sheila said peace, coach. All right, shout out to Sheila. Hey, shout out to Keys Bulldog.
Hey, okay.
G5 from the Bronx.
Hey, okay.
No Cap Entertainment.
Hey, okay.
Hold on. Oh, somebody in the chat. Hold on, somebody in the chat saying we can ride in from DC. Hold on. Say we can ride in from DC, huh? Okay. We can ride in from DC. All right. He's not from DC. Bam. As you can see right here, Winky Wright was born in Washington, D.C. He fought out of Florida. They left Washington, D.C. They moved to St. Petersburg. Last time I checked, where you was born, that's where you was from. Last time I checked. And I know Winky Wright. He told me that himself anyways. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. Shout out to everybody.
Come fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby.
Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan-Africanism.
If I take your woman who never been out the United States a day in her life, if I take your woman who never been out the United States a day in her life, if I take your woman who never been out the United States a day in her life and take her with me, she spent a week in Africa with King Kong Alicious. She's going to spend a week in Africa with King Kong Alicious. Do you think she ever coming back home to you? Let's just be honest. If I take her on a ride with the prince, do you really think she coming back home to you? I'm going to drink to that. Next Negro who hate, I'm going to snatch your chick.
This should be too easy. This should be like taking candy from a baby.
Yep, that's right. I'm running things. I'm running things. Cream corn. That's why they call me that. Smooth. I got more measure for your pleasure. Stick with me, baby. I'll have you farting through silk. And let a nigga mess with me. I'll jump on him. All 93 pounds of pure dynamite.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm trying to tell you, boy. You gotta know. Listen, you gotta know how to fight in that pocket. You gotta know how to fight in that pocket. Hey, man, I heard Tank Davis is getting the Jake Paul fight. Fighting Jake Paul, huh? All right, it's fighting Jake Paul.
Me, the fans, we feeling like you not getting the best fights you supposed to. But we know Tank can fight anybody. Why is that? For me, we want to see you fight Lomachenko. We want to see you fight Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, motherfucking all the top who they say is the 4 horsemen, and they anywhere around your weight class. We want to see it happen. When we gonna see it happen?
I'm not sure. I ain't got
that's
nothing to do.
that
was real shit.
That's some real shit.
I don't know. That's like,
how many times you don't went in there and said, I want these niggas, man?
To be honest, I ain't never said it.
Hey, man, shout out to the face of boxing, man. Much respect.
Yeah. Ooh, that look good. How much fun?
And to all of the lovers out there, if you are in love and you have your boo and you booed up with your lover, this is for you.
Make it last. Make it last forever. Don't let I love me.
Shout out to all the tender brothers, the PYTs, and the honey dips, and shout out to all of the slick black boxers in 2025. But hey, these sapsuckers wouldn't know a slip. They wouldn't know a slick black fighter if he pimp slapped them in the face. True. Really though.
Nigga, I'm talking face on the bro short. Boy. Lights out, you hear me? Clap on, clap off. Okay. Huh? You got me fucked up, cuz.
Goddamn, if a slick black fighter slapped him in the face, goddamn, he would. Whoa, what that is over there? Who just slapped me? That was a slick black fighter. There ain't no slick black fighter. Try to get where he at. He's standing 2 inches away from me. Try to hit him. Man, I swung at him 10 times and missed. That's why we call him a slick black fighter.
True.
Swim and not get wet, bro. He's right there in front of you. You can't even hit that motherfucker.
After my God, I respected you. I respect you. After my God. I respect you. After my God. After my God.
You second to God, champ.
No. I didn't listen. I respect him. I'm sorry. I respect him.
Come on for the nigga pass out. Take the picture, please pass out.
Yeah, get him before he pass out.
Yeah.
Hold him up.
Yo, we gotta take this guy everywhere. Yeah. Yo, shit.
He needs air.
You need air.
Take the picture. Take the picture before you face the picture.
That's my hero, right? That's my hero. One more.
It takes a lot to do. All right, what?
Don't worry about it. Come on, I got you, guys.
Hey, the girl in the back said it takes a lot to do that. Well, it don't take a lot to get weak at the knees. Niggas get weak at the knees. You got niggas falling down on their knees in front of them. It takes a lot to do that. Take a lot to do what? The way you fell down on your knees so gracefully and you acknowledge Floyd Mayweather's greatness is a thing of honor. And literally your head was waist high where Floyd waist was at. If Floyd would have just unbuttoned his pants and unbutton his zipper, there's no telling what you would have did for the Klondike bar.
True.
It takes a lot to do that, what you just did. You fell down in front of all them tenderonis, all them pretty ass women right there. Floyd turned around and he said, no, these are things I do. These are things I do. He told the girl, these are things I do. Like Floyd found joy in a grown man falling down on his knees. After my God, I respected y'all. He's on both of his knees, ready to give awesome jostle. Boy, he ready, listen, he ready to eat the meat down to the base. He ready to eat the meat down to the base. He ain't gonna come up for air. He gonna pass out right there. You dig? It is what it is, man. Y'all know what time of TI is. You dig? Hey, man, shout out to everybody in the Chizad.
True.
Let's get some more shout outs, man. Y'all know what time it is. Shout out to La Jessica. Shout out to Tila. Shout out to Tegra Gigi. Who else we have in the building, man? Shout out to the lovely, shout out to Foodie. Miss Connie. Shout out to Sheila from Houston. Rude Exposure. Jamie from New York. Trey Hassan. No Cap Entertainment. Mr. G4L. Shout out to Sheila from Killer Cali. Shout out to John. Let's see. Shout out to JC. Shout out to Cyrus. Yeah, nigga talking about Awesome Johnson, bro. Listen, anytime you see a man on his knees in front of another man with his forehead right up to the man's waist, what you think he's down there for? You get what I'm saying? I don't know where you from, but where I'm from, when we see that, we know what time that is.
True.
Shout out to Falcon 784. The Nigerian Nightmare. Guillermo. Texas 16 South. Ruben Allen. Shout out to IBS. Big Jag. Shout out to Highlight Space. The lovely Summer in November. Shout out to the trolls who got blocked. Create another account. We know you will. You know what I mean? Shout out to Herb Winston in the building. John. Shout out to Mr. John Martinez. Shout out to La Jessica. Any other women I may have forgotten. Shout out to Brandy. Yo, Brandy sweet like candy. Shout out to Bless 365. Y'all know what time it TI is. Y'all know what it is. I catch you guys on the next one. You know my motto. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace. Got a video dropping at 9 o'clock. You dig?
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.